Give me the goddamn linky. The linky. The Biden press conference. Give it. Give me. Give it. Give it. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. What a day. Copyright, probably. Folks, I can't tell you how excited I am to share this moment with you. This is the first presidential election I have ever had the honor of covering on this channel, but it will not be the last. I am delighted to share with you the collective victory that is Joe Biden's presidency. Now, is Joe Biden our candidate? No, but he is not Trump. And that is sometimes all you need. When you are here, listen, I'll give you an example, okay? Do you guys like going to the dentist? No. Nobody likes going to the dentist, okay? Maybe some of you do. I don't like going to the dentist. Just, it's not fun. Okay? But when you're driving on your way to the dentist, and then you realize there's a big pothole in the road, and you swerve to the left to avoid that pothole, you're still going to the dentist. We're still fighting against bourgeois democracy. But at least we didn't flat our tire in the gigantic fucking pothole. Okay? And we can celebrate that. We don't need to celebrate going to the dentist. We're not happy that now we get to go to the dentist faster than we would have previously. We're happy we didn't flat our fucking tire. We're happy we didn't crash. That is what we are celebrating today. Because we fucking we fucking Tokyo drift. We fucking zoomed around. And we made it. We made it, people. We did not hit the goddamn pothole. I spent some time running errands earlier today. I actually ran into two people who recognized me in spite of my mask, which was funny. The city of Seattle is just elated. There were people all over the street. They were celebrating and cheering and smiling and so on. People honking their horns. Yeah, Seattle is really goddamn happy. Really goddamn happy. Did I see Marisha Ray quote tweeted you? Yeah, a lot of... I had a tweet that went viral. Very fun. Very good, you know? People got real goddamn happy. And they are happy, and they're going to remain happy. And remember, people, there is nothing wrong with being happy that Biden is the president. Because Biden being the president means Trump is not the president. And our job will be to show the people happy Biden is president that they could be happier if somebody else was president. Maybe somebody further to the left. That's what we're going to be doing. That's our project. Isn't President-elect Biden speaking right now? No, he's about to. I've got the screen on my left. I'll jump to it when it looks like it's starting. Vaush, help my centrist friends believe somewhat that the election is rigged. Well, just an hour ago, I released a video about how the election was not rigged, or at the very least, about how many of the most popular claims as to it having been rigged are completely untrue and very easily falsified. Very fun. Yes, President Biden does feel better to say. They'd be happiest if there was no president. Well, right now, no president would just mean a broken system. We need to build a system that would allow for no president, of course. Chud's going ham here in Salem, Oregon. Man hits car with bat to stop the steal rally at Oregon State Capitol. Damn, they seem real mad. We'll take a look at that shortly. I know that any moment now, President-elect Joseph Biden is going to be jumping in. Did you see AOC on Twitter? I mean, I do sometimes see AOC on Twitter. Did she do something special? AOC, Twitter. AOC is thanking the USPS, thanking Ilhan Omar, complaining about John Kasich. I mean, seems fairly normal, you know, like a fairly normal day in the haps for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I I feel like I can't pronounce that unless I overdo the pronunciation, you know? Have I seen Pol purging Trumples and Nazis? Wait, really? Is Pol purging the Nazis? Is that true? Where are the conservative meltdown compilations? The victory was only called today. It's going to take a little while for the compilations to come out, okay? Indeed they are? Interesting. You know, 4chan didn't used to be what it is now. 4chan has always been really edgy, anti-authoritarian, anti-PC, but it didn't used to be this overwhelmingly far-right space. It got taken over because of its lax moderation, which allows for, among other things, saying the N-word and child pornography, both of which conservatives are obsessed with. So, it would be nice to see 4chan go back to being, well, still shit, but, you know, not in that way. Exactly. 4chan is so women-hating? Yeah, of course, but it's always been that way. Take back Pol. Well, if you look at Pol right now, about 2/3 of the posts are from lefties who are making fun of the conservatives. What is this? If this has copyright music, I can't. This is probably copyright, isn't it? God damn it. No fun for me. 8chan was the pedo one? No. Trust me. Plenty of child porn used to run around on 4chan before they got harder about cracking down on it, okay? Trust me. There are a fuck ton of pedos on 4chan. It's not copyrighted? Oh yeah, the way I phrased that is pretty clippable. Ah well.
We have been cheated over and over and over. Go ahead. My brothers and sisters, in these uncertain times, we must remember family comes from the blood that courses through our veins. For centuries, parasites have poisoned our minds with the lie that our enemies are our brothers with different labels, but our enemies manufactured both. These rats in human disguise and their puppets revel in watching us kill ourselves. We will not fall for their evil tricks again. We will not fall for the lies of the Jews this time. This time, we know our war is with them. USA! 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 USA!
You know, this has been a yeah, that's Catboy Kami. They do realize he said Jews, right? Yeah, of course they do. Trump supporters are like a hair's width away from being Nazis. They just need the right provocation. They're perfectly aware he said Jews. They cheered the hardest after he said Jews, in fact. Joe! Well, we'll wait. Yeah, anyway, so that's all been fun. That's been a good-ass meme. Thoughts on Biden's treacherous cabinet? Do we have a full cabinet list? There's no way Joe Biden has released his entire cabinet list, have they? Yeah, no, there's no way. Let me see. Per Politico, frontrunners for Trump cabinet include for state, Susan Rice, for Attorney General, Doug Jones, for HHS, Michelle Lujan Grisham, for transport, Eric Garcetti, commerce, Meg Whitman, energy, Ernst Moniz, interior, Tom Udall, agriculture, Heidi Heitkamp, and VA, Pete Buttigieg. My man, coming back around. I always knew Pete Buttigieg was fit to run the fucking VA department. I'm ready. Get up there, sir. Take your rightful place. Let me see this. Biden plans immediate flurry of executive orders to reverse Trump policies. Wouldn't that be nice? Can you? Never mind. Just subscribe. It's $1 a month to the Washington Post. I don't want them getting that dollar. Incog mode does not work. You got okay, you guys you guys want to pay for it? Okay. Oh, I finally got my COVID test, by the way. It's the first time I've gotten a COVID test. Because I never really leave the house, so I'm pretty okay. But anyway, man, I gotta say, that fucking nose tube, holy shit. That is not comfortable at all. That is extremely not comfortable. Oh my god. The fucking fishing line they shove into your sinuses. It's not that bad, TBH. Okay, here's my theory. Everybody who says it's not that bad is actually a deeply submissive kinkster, okay? Because that shit was fucking awful. All right? If you guys are okay with your orifices getting packed full, okay, while you cough and sneeze and fucking choke, and you're like, deeper. If that's you, fine. It's not that bad for you, okay? For me, not my thing. Not my thing. Not my thing. Sorry, people. It's not my thing. Didn't like it. Yeah, some of you find it hot. That's true. Some of you are definitely into it. Wait, I'm sorry. Am I reading this correctly? Did I get... Jesus Christ! Jayabay with the... I thought that... I read this wrong. I thought it said 7. Jayabay with the incredibly kind $700 donation. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck, my dude? I said if Biden won, I'd donate $700, so here you go. I've had a lot of fun watching your stream for the past month. Obligatory trans right equals pog. They're pogging anyway. They're pogging the fuck out right now. They pogged before they even heard the trans rights thing, but now they're gonna pog even harder. It's never gonna stop. Thank you so much for the $700. Yeah, you've been around for a good long while, and I'm always happy to have you here, and I really appreciate the donation. Seriously, I never know what to say because, you know, I use the same language pretty much every time. We don't have enough expletives for positive occasions for me to throw out appropriately. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so goddamn much. And let's enjoy Joe Biden's fucking victory speech, okay? Let's enjoy it, huh? I know it's going to be tempting to be super cynical, and every time he's like, we'll heal the nation, we're going to be like, no, you won't, you neoliberal. But let's just take a second. It's true. It's true he won't. But let's just take a second to chill. Also, thank you for buying me 700 months of the Washington Post. I really appreciate that. I'll sign up. Get 1 year for 29. Wait, is it not? Is it $1 a week? Give me 29. Okay. All access to... All right, thank you. PayPal. Subscribe with PayPal. Logging me in. Giving the Washington Post my money, unironically. I guess I buy enough stuff off Amazon. This isn't exactly new, but... Set password. I'm a shill now. Yeah, this is the cuck POV. I hope you're all watching, enjoying watching me watch my wife get fucked by Jeff Bezos. Get the most out of your subscription. Suck my cock. Okay, give me the link again. The linky? Where was the Washington Post? I can now finally look at stuff on the Washington Post. Just remove cookies? That doesn't work. Fuck you. Where was the fucking Washington? Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Is it gonna work now? Oh my god, I can read the Washington Post now. I haven't read this shit in like 2 years. President-elect Joe Biden is planning to quickly sign a series of executive orders after being sworn in, immediately forecasting the country's politics have shifted and his presidency will be guided by radically different priorities. He will we're gonna use the based cringe like meter to determine how good this is. He will rejoin the Paris Climate Accords. That's based. He will reverse President Trump's withdrawal from the WHO. That's based. He'll repeal the ban on immigration from many Muslim-majority countries. That's based. He will reinstate the program allowing dreamers. That's based. We got any more here? Biden is planning to set up a coronavirus task force on Monday in recognition that the pandemic will be the primary issue he must confront. Based, of course. Will be co-chaired by former surgeon Vivek H. Murthy and David Kessler, a former FDA commissioner. Interesting. The policy team and transition policy teams are focusing very much now on executive power. Okay, that's probably good considering the fact that we don't have the Senate necessarily. Let's see. New ethics guides at the White House. He has pledged to sign an executive order saying that no member of his administration can influence any Justice Department investigations. Good, good. Quickly appoint a supply commander to oversee production and distribution of testing. Damn, is he really going to get all this done with executive orders? Motherfucker's going to be spending the first 2 days just nonstop signing documents he pre-wrote. Jesus Christ. Awesome. We'll see how this goes. Do you think McConnell will pass away in his next term? Listen, don't get my hopes up, okay? Chill. You would too? If I was president, I would never leave the Oval Office. I would just only sign executive orders. I would executive order. Like, you think anything I believe in is gonna pass through Congress? Here, let's get Bernie's take on the issue, huh?
Without Congress, what the heck can Joe Biden do without Congress?
Well, obviously, as Donald Trump has shown us, the power of a pen on executive orders is very significant, and I hope he utilizes that.
What the heck can Joe Biden do without Congress?
Thank you for approving that method. What I think Joe should do, and we've seen this work with Trump, is I think he should be an absolute tyrant. Joe Biden should institute an anti-malarkey division, and from it he will reign eternally, passing executive order after executive order with absolutely no due process or room for consideration from others. True. Thank you, Bernie, for your perspective. How long do you think Biden's going to make us wait? Joe late. Joe late. What is this? As you can see from this clip, Biden hates the UK.
Mr. Biden, a quick word for the BBC.
The BBC, I'm Irish.
Mr. Biden, a quick word for the BBC.
The BBC, I'm Irish.
Mr. Biden, a quick...
Based ass fucking IRA Biden. Fucking IRA Joe coming in hot with the fucking Molotovs, car bombing fucking Scotland Yard parking lot. That's funny as fuck, dude. Delicious. Wait, is Farage serious? Wait, here's a quick question. Why should anyone ever give a fuck about what Nigel Farage thinks? Quick question. Really quickly, let me just take a second. Nope. Can't think of a reason. You know, really, Really pondered it for a moment, you know, but nothing came up. When am I covering Corbyn? Every time I'm asked that, I delay it another day. So sometime in 2023 at this point, I think. Who is Nigel Farage? Nigel Farage was the leader of the Brexit Party. He was one of the most influential people in shifting the Tory-leaning discourse in the UK from like regular conservative dipshittery to like far-right conspiratorial dipshit conservatism, you know? He was very effective. Wait, didn't I say UKIP? Did I not say UKIP? I thought I said UKIP. Well, he was very effective in moving shit over like that. Anyway, he's terrible, and fuck him. I said Brexit Party? Oh, I thought I said UKIP. Ah. Yeah, he was in lead of both, but yeah, UKIP. But was he the one who oversaw Sargon and Count Dankula and shit being put up? Or was that another guy who came in? I think... No, it was a different guy. Yeah, he left UKIP at the same time that... Yeah, he jumped ship. Yeah. Gerard Batten, thank you. It's been a while since I've had to pay attention to UK politics because we've been busy with our own stuff over here for a little while. Did I see this? Nico House being buddy with Carolyn. Oh, dude, it's way more than that. I love this shit. You guys remember Nico House? Nico House did a documentary with Jack Posobiec, a neo-Nazi. And in it, he said that like Antifa was like destroying the country. And like we need to... This is, by the way, this is Jack Posobiec, by the way. I want you to imagine... This is real, by the way. I want you to imagine the mind behind these tweets, okay? Like really sort of try to chart out like the wiggly brain worms. He would actually just tweet like 1488 all the... He's a full-on Nazi, like actual for real Nazi. He would talk about being surrounded by Jews. Anyway, Nico House worked with him, and they worked together to make a documentary in favor of Jack Posobiec's political opinions. They aren't even funny or clever. Yeah, no shit, Nazis are fucking stupid. Does he think he's being slick? That's the thing. Looking at this is more like secondhand embarrassment than anything else, you know? Like when you're looking at that, you know what I mean? It reminds me of... It's like a really overeager 14-year-old desperately trying to ligma somebody, but like everyone knows what they're trying to do, but they don't know everyone knows. They just keep trying to do it, you know? Except you have that whole Nazi angle, you know? You know, when people try the ligma thing, but it's really fucking obvious. Not that I'm great at knowing when it's happening to me, but you know, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, man, I just ran out of ligma." Oh, okay. All right, so, okay. So what did you do today? Well, I couldn't do much after I ran out of ligma. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll just come back later. Oh, dude, before you go, do you have any spare ligma you could give me? Like, that's the feeling that I get from the 1488. What is 1488 actually referencing? It's two parts. 14 means the 14 words. We must secure a future for white children and white people, whatever that thing. And 88 is 88HH. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. Heil Hitler. There. That's 1488. That's what it references. A little bit obsequious there, but that's what they yeah. Can Biden fucking start? Fuck you. I had a song stuck in my head when I was driving back home. I don't remember what it was. Fuck, what was the song that I had stuck in my head? God damn it. I completely forget. This is going to infuriate me. God damn it. Oh man, I had it stuck in my head. I was actually like singing it on the way home. Fuck me. Ah well. All right. What we know about Biden's first aid checklist. Let's take a look. Combat coronavirus, by which he's going to rejoin the WHO, federal mask mandate, good. Start repairing the U.S.'s reputation. This is, I mean, I don't, fuck America. Start restoring protections for Americans. Expand and codify ethical standards. Pog. Restore transgender students' rights. There you go. make DACA permanent, ending the Muslim ban, eliminating... This is one of the big reasons why any lefty who tells you Donald Trump and Joe Biden are the same are fucking idiots. Donald Trump was extremely anti-union, eliminating restrictions on union workers. Little does Joe know he's selling us the rope we will use to tie his hands together and peacefully escort him from the country with. Biden would eliminate restrictions on federal workers' unions imposed by Trump, including limiting the time workers can spend on union business. It's part of the president-elect's broader plan to strengthen union organizing. The federal government should serve as a role model for employers to treat their workers fairly, it reads. Well, that's nice. All right, so that's first day. I hope we get more than this. If Joe Biden really wants to be the pog-ass president we all deserve, we're going to need a lot coming out day one. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff he just can't do for executive order. For example, through executive order, we can't expect him to, like, pass stimulus bills. I skipped some climate stuff, did I? Coronavirus, start repairing the U.S.'s reputation. Ah, yes, here we go. Keep more fossil fuels in the ground. In a July 14th speech, Biden promised that if elected, he would reverse Trump's rollbacks of 100 public health and environmental rules, many accomplished and easily undone by no-fuss executive orders. High on the list could be the rollbacks Trump used to enable fossil fuel extraction, like orders that allowed oil and gas companies to speed through permitting processes for new pipelines. Biden could also issue a number of his own executive orders to reduce extraction, like directing the Department of the Interior to halt oil and gas leases on fracking on federal land. Nice. Well, that's all nice. Do you think Biden will pull an FDR? Well, Biden is not as ambitious about helping the working people as FDR is, so no. But I think that Biden can do some good things, and we can push him to do good things while we secretly undermine, the Democratic Party. What is the chance of deleting the Electoral College? Basically none. The more likely option is circumnavigating it with the Interstate Voter Compact, or whatever the fuck it's called. And that's far more likely to pass. Yeah. Napa Interco. Yeah, that thing. Napa Vote Interco. Thank you. Napa Vote Interco. Napapo Interco. Napapo. Napovo Interco. Napovo Interco. Napovo Interco. Napopo Interco. Napovo Interco. I'll get it eventually. It's starting? Is it starting? Here. Biden's talking. Whoa! 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 No. Earlier today, Tim Pool's live stream producer, Lydia, posted tweets supportive of the former Chilean dictator, Augusto Pinochet, who killed, imprisoned, and tortured tens of thousands of people. Pinochet also had civilian dissidents thrown out of helicopters, which Lydia appears to support. Oh, that's nice. I talked with this woman for like 2 hours and had a friendly conversation with her. She seemed fairly amicable to libertarian ideas then, but, oh, guess we're totally okay with state executions without trial. Pinochet, sorry. Very nice. I'll keep that in mind if I ever talk to her again. Should never trust these people to act human when you don't have your eyes on them. I can't.
2020 special report. We want to go right to Wilmington, Delaware. President-elect Joe Biden is about to address the nation following an introduction by Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. She is on stage now. Let's listen.
Yeah. That is a shiny tie. It's like a fancy dinner napkin.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. Hello.
So, thank you. Good evening.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
So,
Hello.
Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state, it is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I know, I agree. All right.
To guard it and never take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it, and there is progress, because we, the people, have the power to build a better future.
She's essentially saying that the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of patriots.
And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America.
Woo!
To our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And for making this victory possible. To the poll workers and election officials across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted. Our nation owes you a debt of gratitude.
Is she gonna thank me personally?
You have protected the integrity of our democracy.
I talked about burning your bus for like
months. To the
months.
American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months.
Dude, I don't think she's gonna thank me. This is bullshit.
Sorrow and pain, the worries and the struggles. But we have also witnessed your courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted.
Wait, where's the fucking meme?
And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth.
Where's the meme where it's like how liberals think how defeating fascism works?
Joe Biden as the next president of the United States.
And it's the Chad voting out Hitler.
And Joe is a healer, a uniter, a tested and steady hand, a person whose own experience of loss
needs to find it.
Gives him a sense of purpose that will help us as a nation reclaim our own sense of purpose. And a man with a big heart who loves with abandon. It's his love for Jill, who will be an incredible First Lady. It's his love for Hunter and Ashley and his grandchildren and the entire Biden family.
We did it!
And while I first knew Joe as vice president, I really got to know him as the father who loved Bo, my dear friend who we remember here today. And to my husband, Doug, and our children, Cole and Ella, and my sister, Maya, and our whole family, I love you all more than I can ever express.
I don't care. I don't care. What does this mean? Nothing. Everyone needs to get out there and vote in 2022.
We are so grateful to Joe and Jill for welcoming our family into theirs on this incredible journey. And to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Kamala Harris, who is always in our hearts. When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women, Black women.
I'd just like to thank my friends at the Academy.
Asian, white, Latina, Native American women who throughout our nation's history have paved the way for this moment tonight.
Imagine unironically being a woman.
Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the Black women who are often, too often, overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy.
And it's true, Kamala's mom's name was Shyamala.
All the women
Shyamala.
who have worked to secure and protect the right to vote for over a century, 100 years ago with the 19th Amendment, 55 years ago with the Voting Rights Act, and now in 2020 with a new generation of women in our country who cast their ballots and continued the fight for their fundamental right to vote and be heard.
Oh, she didn't mention trans women. She didn't mention trans women. Fucking
Tonight,
get
I
her.
reflect on their struggle,
Canceled.
their determination, and the strength of their vision to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And I stand on their shoulders. And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists.
Trans women are just women? Yeah, Black women are just women too, you stupid piece of shit. You're not reverse woking me. You're not fucking reverse
But while
Uno
I
carding
may
me.
be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
This is what I care about right now.
Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. But know that we will applaud you every step of the way. And to the American people, no matter who you voted for, I will strive to be a vice president, like Joe was to President Obama, loyal, honest, and prepared, waking up every day thinking of you and your family. Because now is when the real work begins, the hard work, the necessary work, the good work, the essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to root out systemic racism in our justice system and society, to combat the climate crisis, to unite our country and heal the soul of our nation. And the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I. We have elected a president who represents the best in us.
I find her so
A
unlikable.
leader
I'm really sorry,
the
guys.
world will respect and our children will look up to. A commander-in-chief who will respect our troops and keep our country safe. And a president for all Americans. And it is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America.
What the fuck was that video cut?
Biden.
Joe, proletarian, IRA, big dick Biden. Bring him out. Yeah, he's got the mask. He's jogging. He's flexing on Trump with a light jog. And he's done. Nope, he's not. He's going for more. Okay, now he's done. Double fist bump. High urban ethnic approval greeting. Was this the song they played at the end of fucking Promare? Woo!
My fellow Americans.
He's gonna die during this speech. I can feel it. He's gonna die during this speech.
The people who brought me the dance, Delawareans. I see my buddy Senator Tom Carper down there, and I think Senator Coons is there, and I think the governor's around.
Senator what, sir?
Is that Ruth Ann? And that former Governor Ruth Ann Minner.
And
Most
what?
importantly, my sisters-in-law, my sister Valerie. Anyway. Folks, the people of this nation have spoken. They've delivered us a clear victory.
Dude, Biden has such a Chad forehead.
Victory. A victory.
Look at that.
For we, the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on a presidential ticket in the history of the nation. 74 million. What I must admit has surprised me. Tonight, we're seeing all over this nation, all cities and all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, renewed faith in tomorrow, bring a better day. And I'm humbled by the trust and confidence you've placed in me. I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States.
God, no left, no right, only forward.
With the confidence of the whole people to win the confidence of all of you. And for that is what America, I believe, is about.
That is for America, I believe, is about.
And that's what our administration will be all about. I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, and to make America respected around the world again. And to unite us here at home. It's the honor of my lifetime.
Is he going to thank me?
So many millions of Americans have voted for that vision. And now, the work of making that vision is real. It's a task, the task of our time. Folks, as I said many times before, I'm Jill's husband. And I would not be here without her love and tireless support of Jill and my son Hunter and Ashley, my daughter, and all our grandchildren and their
big
spouses,
dick son,
and all our family. They're my heart. Jill's a mom, a military mom, an educator. She has dedicated her life to education. But teaching isn't just what she does, it's who she is.
Talk about Hunter, too.
For American educators, this is a great day for y'all.
Flex on every Republican by talking about your son and how cool he is.
You have one of your own in the White House. And Jill's going to make a great first lady. I'm so proud of her.
I like Jill. Jill seems really nice.
And I'll have the honor of serving with the fantastic vice president who you just heard from, Kamala Harris. who makes history as the first woman, first black woman, the first woman from South Asian descent, the first daughter of an immigrant ever elected in this country.
To any office.
Don't tell me it's not possible in the United States.
The first woman ever born.
It's long overdue. And we're reminded tonight of those who fought so hard for so many years to make this happen. But once again,
yeah, it's Eve.
America's bent the arc of the moral universe more toward justice.
We have bent the arc of the moral universe.
Like it or not, your family, you become an honorary bride and there's no way out. So all those of you who volunteered and worked the polls in the middle of this pandemic, local elected officials, you deserve a special thanks from the entire nation. And to my campaign team and all the volunteers and all who gave so much of themselves to make this moment possible, I owe you. I owe you. I owe you everything.
Dude, what if Joe Biden said the storm is coming?
Who supported us? I'm proud of the campaign we built and ran. I'm proud of the coalition we put together. The broadest and most diverse coalition in history.
What if he
Democrats,
invoked
Republicans, Independents,
Q,
progressives, moderates, conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it, especially those moments.
He didn't say cisgender. I'm not allowed.
Was at its lowest ebb. The African American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours. I said at the outset, I wanted to represent this campaign to represent and look like America. We've done that. Now that's what I want the administration to look like and act like. For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment tonight.
Oh.
I've lost a couple times myself. But now, let's give each other a chance. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature.
You can.
See each other again.
You can if you want.
Listen to each other again. And to make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as our enemies. They are not our enemies. They are Americans.
Good luck, Joe.
They're Americans.
What if America is your enemy, Joe?
The Bible tells us to everything there is a season, a time to build, a time to reap and a time to sow, and a time to heal. This is the time to heal in America.
Does he wield
Now
like biblical powers? I'm sending a
What
plague.
is the will of the people? What is our mandate?
The Appalachian region.
I believe it's this. Americans have called upon us to marshal the forces of decency, the forces of fairness, to marshal the forces of science and the forces of hope in the great battles of our time. The battle to control the virus, the battle to build prosperity, the battle to secure your family's health care, the battle to achieve racial justice and root out systemic racism in this country.
Hey, I like it. I know he's not going to go far enough, but I like
getting
it.
climate under control. The battle to restore decency, defend democracy, and give everybody in this country a fair shot. That's all they're asking for, a fair shot.
His eyeballs are so
Folks,
tiny.
Our work begins with getting COVID under control. We cannot repair the economy, restore our vitality, or relish life's most precious moments, hugging our grandchildren, our children, our birthdays, weddings, graduations, all the moments that matter most to us until we get it under control. On Monday, I will name a group of leading scientists and experts as transition advisors to help take
He wants all of America to transition
into an action blueprint that will start on January the 20th, 2021. That plan will be built on bedrock science. It will be constructed out of compassion, empathy, and concern. I will spare no effort, none, or any commitment to turn around this pandemic. Folks, I'm a proud Democrat.
That one hit the cameraman hard.
As an American president, I'll work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as those who did. Let this grim era of demonization in America begin to end here and now.
It's not gonna work, my dude. Fascists don't stop.
Refusal of Democrats and Republicans to cooperate with one another. It's not some mysterious force beyond our control. It's a decision, a choice we make. And if we can decide not to cooperate, then we can decide to cooperate. And I believe that this is part of the mandate given to us from the American people. They want us to cooperate in their interest. And that's the choice I'll make. And I'll call on Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, to make that choice with me. The American story is about slow yet steadily widening the opportunities in America.
That is
and
not
make no mistake,
at all.
Too many dreams have been deferred for too long.
That is not even close to being.
We must make the promise of the country real for everybody.
The story of this country.
No matter their race, their ethnicity, their faith, their identity,
their height.
Their disability.
Say their height. Say their height.
America has always been shaped by inflection points, by moments in time where we've made hard decisions about who we are and what we want to be. Lincoln in 1860, coming to save the Union. FDR in 1932, promising a beleaguered country a new deal. JFK in 1960, pledging a new frontier. And 12 years ago, when Barack Obama made history, he told us, yes, we can.
I remember.
Well, folks, we stand at an inflection point. We have an opportunity to defeat despair, to build a nation of prosperity and purpose. We can do it. I know we can. I've long talked about the battle for the soul of America. We must restore the soul of America. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses.
Okay.
And what presidents say in this battle matters. It's time.
Joe could be your angle or your devil.
Tonight, the whole world is watching America. And I believe at our best, America is a beacon for the globe. We will lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. I've always believed, many of you heard me say it, I've always believed we can define America in one word.
Pog.
Possibilities.
Oh, I got the first two letters right.
In America, everyone should be given an opportunity to go as far as their dreams and God-given ability will take them. You see,
Possibilities.
I believe in the possibilities of this country.
Oh,
We're always looking ahead. Head to an America that's freer and more just. Head to an America that creates jobs with dignity and respect. Ahead of America that cures diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. Ahead to an America that never leaves anyone behind. Ahead of America that never gives up, never gives in. This is a great nation. It's always been a bad bet to bet against America. We're good people. This is the United States of America. And there's never been anything we've been not able to do when we've done it together. Folks, in the last days of the campaign, I began thinking about a hymn that means a lot to me and my family, particularly my deceased son, Bo. It captures the faith that sustains me, which I believe sustains America. And I hope it can provide some comfort and solace the 230,000 Americans who've lost a loved one to this terrible virus this year. My heart goes out to each and every one of you. Hopefully this hymn gives you solace as well. It goes like this. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, and make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And now together, on eagle's wings, we embark on the work that God and history have called upon us to do, with full hearts and steady hands, with faith in America and in each other, with love of country, a thirst for justice. Let us be the nation that we know we can be, a nation united, a nation strengthened, a nation healed. The United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, there's never been anything we've tried we've not been able to do. So remember, as my grandpapa, our grandpapa used to say when I walked out of his home when I was a kid up in Scranton, he said, Joey, keep the faith. And our grandmother, when she was alive, she yelled, no, Joey, spread it. Spread the faith. God
spread it.
All. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
President-elect Joe Biden making his address after being projected as the next president of the United States. This at the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware, as we have seen along the way in his campaign.
We did it. By the way, you can't accuse me of being ableist for making this joke about Joe Biden's stutter, because if you've ever made fun of Donald Trump, you've been ableist yourself, because that dude is a fucking moron, okay? Yeah, frankly, it's impossible to do online political commentary without being ableist, because it's pretty much inevitable. It's pretty much inevitable that at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to some of the people you talk about just being subhumanly fucking stupid. Hold on. This tweet is stupid. I should delete it. I'll tweet this instead. There we go. That's better. Spread it for Joe. There we go. Hold on.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your homes. We shall walk.
They're trying to cheat. They're trying to cheat. They have. We've seen it from day one. We found ballots in drainage ditches. They're not letting our poll watchers watch the polls. They're not letting them inside. There's video after video of them passing out collateral material in polling sites all over Philadelphia.
Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Deport all Doomer accounts now! And stop listening to Fox! They're all run by the GOP establishment! They're designed to make you feel demoralized and defeated so you'll stop supporting Trump! Then Trump will be forced to concede! Then the GOP establishment and Bush family win! When the Bushes win, they'll take over the GOP and try to win 2024 by promising amnesty to illegals! This is their plan! The plan is to oust Trump even if Trump won, but they're terrified of Trump's face! So stop listening to Fox and stop listening to Doomers! Stay with the
Thank you, Tempest. Wow, you did that one. You put that one out really quickly. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Here you go. Don't worry about copyright. That's copyright-free music. According to Tempest, and I trust him, so. Oh, that was so fucking good, dude. That was so fucking good.
chips have fallen. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to cry about it. And I am warning these leftists. Do you think it's just going to end now?
The left is preemptively celebrating, of course. And the left has decided the election is...
Wait, is this copyright? Is this like ancient music, or is this from a video, like a fucking movie soundtrack? I actually don't know. This is ancient. Okay.
It's over. This has led to idiocies like...
I truly do believe that Trump did win Wisconsin.
We want. That's all we're asking for. We're asking for a vote on it.
Anybody's asking for.
That's all we're asking for. We're like,
according to the fake news media, the election's looking a little bit like this, and Trump looks pretty screwed at this point. But let me tell you something. This isn't the case.
Can you source that, please? And I was like, are you kidding me?
I would be surprised if some of these challenges do not make it back to the Supreme Court.
The Fox News decision desk can now project that former Vice President Joe Biden will win Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes he needs to become the 46th president of the United States.
Joe Biden wins, they'll take over all our cultural institutions. They'll put psychotic and insane definitions in our dictionary. They'll never stop coming. They will take your job away. They will come for your parents.
The media's covering up. The Biden crime family steals this election. The media's covering it up.
We will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it.
It may be that the chips have fallen. I'm not going to cry about it.
I love these, dude. I could watch these all day. No, that's definitely copyright music, Mango. I love you, though. Wait, where's that one of Tim Pool? I didn't actually realize this. I didn't actually realize this, but Tim Pool actually predicted Donald Trump would get a 50-state landslide, or a 49-state landslide.
I think Kamala and Biden might be throwaway candidates. They know they're going to get steamrolled in the election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's going to win re-election. I think Trump might have a massive, massive victory, which shocks the left. I think we're looking at a Trump victory, man. Trump 2020 landslide, even with everything going on with COVID. I think that's what we can expect. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Trump had a 49-state landslide. I think we could see a 49-state landslide. We may be looking at a Mondale-Reagan type scenario where Trump landslides 49 states. And we may see a 49-state landslide. Maybe a 50-state landslide. That'd be amazing. I think we might be seeing a 49-state landslide. I just really think...
And then the video ends like this, because copyright. And that's all I can play. Very good. I would do literally anything. You know what I wish I could do? I wish I could pay money to, like, immunize myself from the copyright flag system. Crab Song is not copyright. Is that true? Wait, is it true? Is Crab... Wait, hold on. If Crab Rave isn't copyright, I would be playing it, like, every 5 minutes. Is Crab Rave music free to use? Monster Cat doesn't strike the video, so I think you're good to go. Licensing content creators. No. They don't copyright strike, but YouTube's copyright detection algorithm is still going to demonetize the video. So every time I get demonetized from a stream video, that's like a couple $100 out of my pocket. So sadly, probably not worth it. Unfortunately, for streams like this, it's virtually guaranteed I get demonetized for something anyway, but... Hassan played it today and Twitch didn't DCM. YouTube has a different system to Twitch. Twitch is much more permissive. Anyway, you knocked it out of the park, Tempest. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Fucking delightful. Thank you. Excuse me. Wow. At some point, can you talk about how to effectively criticize Biden? Most lefties I see are just simply criticizing every mild liberal platitude, but it feels like if we only ever criticize them and never acknowledge... Yeah, I'll talk about that. You know what? I'll talk about that today. We'll talk about that right fucking now. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, everyone. Get your horses or something. Okay. I'll be having Lance from the Surfs on to talk in about 20 minutes. But before that, I want to talk about this, okay? I'm waiting for Lance to reply. Because Lance has to get off Twitch. Okay. All right, everyone. Look, one of the biggest questions that lefties are going to be struggling with over the next 4 years is how to best criticize Joe Biden or the Democrats. I've seen a lot of struggling with this because sometimes lefties go, well, some lefties will take the approach of just being openly hostile to all liberals. And I don't really think that's very effective. And some lefties, I think, get really, really complacent or really, really, they get like almost this parasocial relationship with Democrats, or more, or sometimes more often, I think what they'll do is they'll fall into like this pit of despair and they'll believe that it's not possible to move beyond the incrementalism of the Democratic Party. So here's my suggestion, okay? Is everyone ready for this? Okay, here's my suggestion, okay? Remember, first and foremost, moving the Democratic Party left can only be done when we elect people who represent our values. We're not going to be able to push Biden left, at least not generally. It is possible to push candidates who are already elected to the left in specific instances on niche issues with very, very directed outreach. That is totally possible. That is 100% possible. But generally speaking, we're not going to like make Biden become a social democrat like after he's already elected. That's just not going to happen. We have to elect the right people. We have to elect people who are workers' candidates, people who want to represent us, not who want to be Democrats, but who want to be the first wave of socialist American politicians. That's the people we need in there. And obviously, we need to vote for those people. We need to support those people in every conceivable way. We need to make sure that the path is clear so those people can become congresspeople, senators, presidents, whatever. But in the meantime, how do we deal with the Democrats that we have? Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is essential that we not alienate liberal voters. It's essential that we not do that. Some lefties are very antagonistic towards liberals almost by default, okay? But please do remember that liberalism leads into fascism as easily as it can conceivably lead into socialism. When does liberalism lead into fascism? Liberalism leads into fascism when democracy and civil rights are curtailed because capital interests consolidate class and instead get people to divide themselves amongst racial, ethnic, religious lines. But socialism takes root in people when they realize there's something fundamentally wrong with a country which promises equality but delivers historic, record wealth inequality, racial apartheid through long officially removed redlining policies that nonetheless seem to be just as etched into the lines of the earth today as they were back in the 1950s. Liberals need a guiding hand. And it's important to move them in the right direction. And you're not going to do that by being like a super angry, fucking super antagonistic dipshit, okay? Just for real. Now, if there's a liberal that's being annoying, you can argue with them, that's fine. But as a general rule, you don't want to do that to people who you think you can convert. There are lefties who think you can't convert liberals. Were you born a fucking socialist? I'm sorry, motherfucker. What were you born into? What default ideological predilection? Oh yeah, dude. I'm sorry, listen. Not only do I not accept liberals into my political fucking my sweet club on the penthouse floor, okay? I don't even accept fucking anarchists. I don't accept anyone other than MLs, and I don't accept MLs who used to be fascists. I only accept people who were born to ML parents who were read fucking the history of the Castro regime who were soothed in the womb by the sound of audiobooks of Das Kapital, okay? Cut the purity bullshit, okay? All of you suck. In fact, most lefties suck. Take it as somebody who has to talk with a lot of them and see what they say about me on Twitter, okay? Trust me, lefties suck. Being a lefty doesn't make you a good person. Being a liberal doesn't make you a bad person. All you fucking suck, okay? We can broaden this, okay? Let's just stop rooting the moral worth of an individual in like these characteristics, okay? Being white doesn't make you inherently bad. Being black doesn't make you inherently good. Being cis doesn't make you inherently bad. Being trans doesn't make you inherently good. None of these things. All of you suck ubiquitously. I've talked with all you motherfuckers. You all suck, okay? So stop with the fucking high horsing. Stop with the fucking ivory tower. Chill the fuck out. You see a liberal, even if they're a white liberal, whatever, cringe, okay? Suck it up. The fucking labor organizers of the early 20th century had way harder jobs than you, okay? You don't get to invoke their name and then cringe at the idea of talking with people who you wouldn't accept into your fucking brunch club, okay? Suck it the fuck up. You don't have to be friends with every person you talk to amicably, all right? Jesus Christ. With the liberals, the actual liberal, voters, you can engage with these people, and your ability to move them left. I mean, this isn't a person-to-person interaction. This is highly dependent on a number of characteristics that I'm not privy to at the moment. But just for God's sake, don't dismiss them offhand, okay? But also, and this is equally important, okay? There are a lot of leftists, I think, Shu in chat, there are a lot of people who are amicable to socialist ideas, but have concerns about the viability of them. They have concerns about the extent to which it's possible. I'm giving Shu shit here, by the way. I don't care. But they have concerns about the extent to which viable change can be made. And I find a lot of libs and a lot of lefties alike both get complacent and they begin to forget the dreams they had when they thought change was possible. How many people are like that in chat right now? How many of you are burnt out? This is burnout. That's what this is burnout. That's what that is. The problem is a lot of people get into politics, a lot of lefties especially. They get into politics and they get so excited. They're finally awake, They finally get it. They didn't get it before, and all these things that used to confuse them make sense, and they're really, really driven to make, a difference and to affect change. But you have to understand, and I've reiterated this a million goddamn times, okay? The best way to be a good activist or advocate or just person in general is to take care of yourself first. They say when the plane's going down, the first thing you have to do, the first person you put the oxygen mask on, it's yourself. You have to make sure you're in a good place before you can trust yourself to handle the stress of political advocacy, okay? I do this. Listen, I'm in a very privileged position when it comes to political advocacy because I am a fucking YouTuber. I'm in no position to complain. But even I sometimes get stressed. I have a lot to do. I'm a busy guy, and I get a lot of hate online. What do I do during those days? I don't stream. Or I play video games. Even if there's something important to do, I play video games. Makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I'm better the next time I cover political content. I couldn't do it without the video games. Even now, I've done politics for about a week every day in a row, some days doing 2 streams. And there are people who stream way longer hours than me, like Hassan and Destiny, and they do that political content too. But I'm me, and they're them, and even now it's a little tiring. And what I'm essentially asking from all of you here is self-care. And this seems odd because the segment is ostensibly about how to criticize Dems, but you have to understand that I think that for a lot of people, an unwillingness to healthily engage with the system as it exists stems with an unhealthiness within themselves. So you gotta chill, okay? You gotta chill, all right? It's very important that you do that. You gotta chill, okay? If you find that political content or engaging with it is too stressful for you, you got to take a break. You know what a lot of you people are doing? I saw this Onion article title. It was great. Woman hopeful she's done enough worrying about the election to help Joe Biden. Did any of you see that one? Because it describes something. You all doom scrolling through Twitter. What are you doing exactly when you're doom scrolling through Twitter? Do you need to know every single thing that's going on right now? The factual matter is that you absolutely don't. I need to, because I could cover it. You fucking don't, guys. You don't. You absolutely do not. Okay? You don't need to doom scroll all the time. I'm not doom scrolling. I follow many anime artists. Okay, look, if you're looking at hentai, I'm not accusing you of doom scrolling. I'm saying that if you're doom scrolling, that's when you're doom scrolling, okay? Listen, it's one of the problems is we're provided so much information, coom scrolling, sorry. We're provided so much information these days, far more than our brains know how to handle, okay? You need to get good at processing that information appropriately. You know what my version of doom scrolling is? I used to name search myself really, really often. Like, what's the internet talking about today? You know how what the internet talks about with regards to me? It's not good. It's never good, you know? It's better since I've gotten larger, and now I don't do it anymore at all. You know why? I genuinely don't feel any need to. I feel absolutely no need to. It literally doesn't interest me, like as a concept, you know? And the ability to do that, to take certain forms of information that hurt or that you don't like or that you don't benefit from and just not care about it, is essential. Because if you are engaging in political advocacy, you are going to be exposing yourself to an unbelievable amount of negative information, and properly channeling that is essential. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be overwhelmed by the mundanity and the horror of it all, and you're going to get tired, and you're going to get burnt out, and then you're going to think, damn, maybe Nancy Pelosi's right. Maybe all we really can do is reach out for 18 months consecutively to try to hope that the Republicans will sign off on a bipartisan legislation to give $4 and a lettuce leaf to everybody who's been affected by COVID-19, okay? But people do that. Radical political projects are always built fundamentally on a belief in a better world. Or I guess if you're a fascist, a belief and a desire for a much worse world that you imagine is better because your head's, all twisted up. But that's the gist of it. And you can only hope for that. The ability to hope for something better is fundamentally rooted in a healthy mind state, okay? Fundamentally. So you guys got to chill. You got to be cool, okay? You have to go on TikTok and see all the cool people there, okay? They're hipping and hopping. Try to be cool, okay? I don't know. Take inspiration. Like Snake Plissken, from Escape from New York. That dude's cool. Who else is cool? John Wayne? He's never been my type. Clint Eastwood? I don't know. Think of a cool guy, okay? Be cool, all right? It's going to be okay. Hold on. We have a comment in chat. I think it's a great point. I love how Vaush has 0% class analysis. We don't need liberals, but workers, from the inner city and from the rural areas. It's a great point, comrade. Has it ever occurred to you that most workers are liberals? I'll give you a second to think about that. Do you think they vote worker at the poll? What do you do if you encounter a worker and they have a Joe Biden sign on their front lawn? Do you just stop? Do you think when I say we should reach out to liberals, I mean only bourgeois liberals? What group of people exactly do you think I'm referring to here? Because trust me, I know plenty of working class people. I've worked with working class people. I know bougie fucks too. And let me tell you, there is no class consciousness in this country. Absolutely zero. There are working class people who believe they're a temporarily embarrassed millionaire, and there are wealthy people who legitimately believe that we live in a country which is grinding down the working class. We have no worker solidarity in this country. The workers in this country, the poor, are born and raised to believe in a world which is fair and equal, and that they are in that world, and that world is fairly treating them for what they have put into it. And it is very sad, and it is very depressing to talk to a poor person or a poor parent who actually thinks they're responsible for where they are in life. And many of those people are liberals. And many of those people stan Yas Queen Kamala Harris. A lot of overlapping considerations to be made here. A lot of intersectional analysis to be made here. It's true. It's totally true. One of the biggest problems with online leftist advocacy is that a lot of lefties never go outside, and I'm very much part of that group. And they legitimately believe that if they went outside, they would see something like out of a Katniss Everdeen novel, where like the working class is like this big group of people with like total solidarity, and there's this big evil bourgeois outsider class who all go to like $300 like bruncheons together to talk about how much they hate fucking progressive taxes, But that's not true. ideas and beliefs and personalities overlap, and honestly, every individual is just that, an individual. Yeah, absolutely, radical reviewer. And yeah, you have to remember that. So, yes, Katniss Everdeen's the character, not the author. I'm sorry, I've never read it. Listen, here's what you need to focus on, okay? Let's break it down. Basic points. First of all, liberals are not your enemy as a rule. There are some liberals who are. There are liberals who are openly, actively antagonistic to social progress. Fuck them. That's not most of them, though. A lot of liberals just have been sold the lie by the Democratic establishment that the only way to move forward is by being in lockstep with their incredibly slow, incremental approach. But that doesn't make them your enemy. That makes them somebody lacking in class analysis. You can help them with that. So, talk with them amicably. If you're worried that you're getting burnt out doing political shit, then find a better way to consume political content, or take breaks, or look, again, I'm not trying to be patronizing here, but unless every single one of you runs a fucking public action committee or a lobbying group, unless every single one of you has a gigantic influential YouTube channel, I'd be willing to bet that for a lot of the people watching this right now, spending a day not paying attention to politics probably isn't going to destroy the working class in America. I'm really not trying to downplay your worth. Your worth is inviolate. It is unique and valuable, but it'll probably be okay if you just take a sec. So you should. Yeah. Okay? All right, nice. Excuse me. Okay, what did Destiny do? Okay. Nice. So I tweeted this picture. Can't we just all be friends? And it's a reference to a little comic somebody did where this is Bob and this is Sally, and despite their political differences, they're friends, and that's how people should be. And this comic's joke is that doesn't work when one side of the aisle has marginalized people who are harmless and one side has a dominant class that is very harmful. Make sense? And Destiny responds to this with, begin quote, every Republican is a Nazi/Confederate/KKK person, end quote. I actually genuinely don't understand how uncharitable a person would have to be to derive that, especially since Destiny himself has made criticisms of the argument that you should not be able to break up with friends because of political stuff. Destiny has literally made this argument before, that politics matters. It's not like a difference in fucking food preferences, and that you should be able to cut out friends because of political differences. So I'm genuinely surprised. Like, this is lower than what I would expect, personally, you know, in my personal opinion. It's also especially funny because, like, my channel, it's one way to interpret it. No, it's really not. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. It's especially weird because my channel is literally built on the principle that you should be able to reach out to and convert conservatives. Like, my channel, that's actually like my channel, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. A little bit weird. Respond to him? No. This is clear bait. What's being said here? What is this? Watch this, please. No, we're about to talk to Lance. This motherfucker gave me shit for years about the friends I had. Lamau, what? Yeah. Sure. I have no idea what he's going on about here. I found the Biden transition plan. Is this going to be a meme? It's probably going to be a meme. It is a meme. Thank you. I'm going to show this. How do we radicalize conservatives? Well, we want to radicalize them in the right direction. That's sort of the preference there. But I want to talk to Lance for a hot second, and then there's another thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the losers. Don't you guys want to talk a little bit about the losers? Why don't you two hop on call? Destiny has given Vaush enough of a career. True. That's true, though. Man, anyway, it's just really weird. I mean, considering that a lot of my early political opinions were largely shaped by Destiny, I'm pretty sure that the comfort with which I now say you should be able to drop friends or family if they're super conservative, and that means hurting your friends or your family or yourself, I'm pretty sure that came from me watching his streams. So I just don't know. I feel like this is just contrarianism, you know? Let me pee real quick, then we'll talk with Lance. Huh? Oh, God damn it. You know, I could pee into the shower. I'll do that. Hello. Sorry about the delay. I decided to use my other bathroom this time. It's actually 2 bathrooms flanking both of my sides. What are you all talking about? Please talk to Destiny. He's still pretty cool. Sometimes he can just be cringe. Please make up. Dude, okay, you guys need to dial down the parasocial, okay? You guys need to fucking chill. What's on this take? Okay. Stupid. Remove malarkey? We'll remove malarkey on Inauguration Day. There's still need for anti-malarkey action. It is a good emote, though. Do you Coomer scroll? You mean, do I look at porn? Yes, I do look at porn. Thank you. Do you think you can come to understand what that's? I don't care. It's a weird question to ask. It doesn't mean anything to me. I have no interest or motivation in it. Destiny is free to do his own thing. I recommended him to Tim Pool. I really do hope that pans out. But like with regards to like being friends with him, that was never a relationship that we had. So it's we never like talked amicably. So it's weird for people to be like, you guys need to make up. Like the only time we talked was on stream. Like the times you saw us interact, those were the times we interacted. I think a lot of people have assumed there was some sort of like behind the scenes shit going on there. Why is everyone typing in all caps? Jesus. From Marco Rubio, Democrats have contested and gone to court after many elections. Like any candidate, President Trump is well within his legal right to request recounts, protest unlawful votes. If he has clear evidence of widespread misconduct or irregularities, take them to court. Yeah, of course he does. He's free to ask for all those things, and he has been, and that's his legal right. And he's still going to lose. Don't change nothing. All right. Lance. Lance, you said you were ready. Lance ended the call. Lance is not ready. Snake. 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 Oh, there we go.
Hi, Vaush. Can you hear me?
Howdy, and I can see you too.
Oh shit! All right, hold on. Let me adjust my levels here. Hi, everyone. Hi, America. How you doing? Thank you.
Wait, wait, I'm sorry. You had your eyes elsewhere. Are you addressing? Are you streaming right now?
Yeah, sorry. I'm simul streaming. Well, sorry.
Gotcha.
I'm streaming on the YouTubes. Let me.
How's that working out? Have you gotten super chats yet? The one where fucking YouTube takes a 30% cut away.
I haven't. Well, okay. So I'll be honest. The first time I streamed on the YouTubes, I did it with your lovely Tim Pool debate.
Oh yeah. You got like 8K viewers or something during that. I hope that was.
I got 9K viewers, 9.3 actually. No
9.
But that was because of the meritocracy. That's because I picked myself up from my bootstraps. I worked really hard, and because of that, I had 9,000 viewers, and I also get that kind of viewership on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
it was just hard work. It's true. It's 100% true. Had nothing to do with anyone helping me out or giving me access to play that kind of footage. So,
well,
you know.
I look forward to future opportunities to prostrate myself and my audience before you. It was it ended up being a pretty big media event for, I guess, a lot of people. So it was a lot of fun. I hope I can do it again in the future. Tim Pool seems to have unflappably absorbed, all of the drama surrounding the election, almost as though he didn't care that much either way at all. Interesting. And
are you saying he's perfect centrism, as all things should be, balanced,
very
harmonious?
Balanced. Well, how you doing? You don't even have a fucking stake in this, you fucking Canuck. How you doing?
Okay. Hold on, Vaush. I wanted to do that thing, all right? I noticed that when we had our first Black Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he would have to call in to his counterpart, whether that be Obama or if that be Donald Trump, and in this case it's going to be Joe Biden, and offer congratulations. So I figured I would do that. That's what I'm trying to facilitate right now between the two of us. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for ending that little flirtation, that little edging experience with the fascism.
Yeah, that was me. I was the one who got Biden.
Yes,
they didn't thank me during the inauguration speech, which was actually really upsetting. So I'll be having a talk with him about that after he's settled into the Oval Office.
Yeah, it's a weird night, right? I don't fully know how to feel about all this.
It's all super weird, yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely adoring the overwhelming support of liberal tears and urine and semen and everything else they're willing to expunge. That has been sustaining me, and it's been plentiful. So for that I'm very, very happy. But yeah, I think that acceptance speech pretty much reminded me exactly what we're in store for the next little bit.
Yeah, well, there are some nice things that are going to happen right off the bat. We took a look at some of the executive orders Joe Biden plans on passing day one, and some of that's pretty good stuff. There's obvious stuff like getting back into the Paris Accords. He's also going to be restoring campus protections for transgender students, which is going to be nice.
So what about the $15 minimum wage?
That is not, but you can't executive order that. That's going to have to go through. Yeah. And that's the big issue. That's why I don't know how much you've been following the nitty gritty, but it looks like the Senate is going to come down to 2 special elections or 2 runoff elections that are being done in Georgia. It's very unlikely that both of them go blue. If both of them go blue, we take the Senate. And if one of them or both of them go red, we lose the Senate.
I have been following it. So come January, you could have the Senate, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we can. It's a very, I feel like it's a solid 1 in 20 that happens, but we'll push for it anyway.
I don't know if you noticed, by the way, I'm drinking the Karen drink of choice because I figured it feels apropos for the evening. I don't know if you've had the pleasure.
Utterly ignorant of all things alcohol related, so I'm afraid it means absolutely nothing to me. I'm sure there are people in my chat, however, who seem to recognize the noteworthiness.
You're one of the most famous people on the internet, and you don't know what White Claw is? How have the memes avoid? But how have the memes avoided you?
I don't listen. I only follow like 200 people on Twitter, so I keep my meme intake very curtailed, very narrow. Okay, wait, it's 388 people on Twitter now, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for making me 388. That's good to know.
You were like number 17 or something. You were one of the first people I followed. You've been doing this longer than I have.
What, Twitch? Or no, you mean Twitter?
Well, no, on Twitch, haven't you?
Oh, Twitch. No.
Really?
You were banned by the time I joined. Yeah, I'm a baby when it comes to streaming. I was making YouTube videos. I was whatchamacallit, a bread tuber is I don't know what the moniker is these days.
Wait, okay, sorry. Maybe not Twitch then, but you were at least making content. I knew that because I remember your conversation with Destiny was like early on. It was like right as I had started streaming. So you obviously would have had to have had some presence before that.
I guess you could call it presence. I think my OBS just crashed. My chat is effing me.
Rip. I'm sorry. Well, we have you here.
Okay, that's good. Y'all are cozy. I'll restart this. Sorry, that's if I sound slightly distracted. That's why I was just like, wait, what is happening in real time?
We are very cozy. Well, yeah, I'm happy that we have narrowly avoided driving ourselves off of the precipice this time. In 4 years, I'm sure we're going to lose the election to like like a Cotton type, or maybe somebody even worse, like some sort of death cultist.
Okay, so is that the way you felt the whole time? Like, I'm so curious because you did the same thing I did, right? So mine was, I'm going to do a strong concerted push for everybody. I'm going to stop saying shit about Joe Biden. All right, I'm going to take off my Joe Biden is a horrible human being mask and put on my the lesser of two evils mask, and because like that is the pragmatic thing that people should be doing. I voted for Justin Trudeau the first time, and he was a shitty neoliberal to replace the rise of proto-fascism in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So I've done it before. I know the feeling. It's like it feels dirty and greasy, but you do it. But was your idea that, like, were you worried about this evolving into, I don't know what you would even call this, the 4-year plan, like 2024, we're going to get Tucker Carlson?
Well, I think that was going to happen either way. What I reject is the idea that voting for Trump for a second term would solidify some sort of like big anti-fascist base on the left. I don't think that's true at all. I think the more time you have in power, the more time you have to develop a base. Like,
yes.
Trump lost this election with a higher vote total than any previous presidential candidate who won. He was able to mobilize a lot of people. The longer we let these people stay in power, the more power they're going to be able to maintain. I think people who grew up learning about manufactured consent and the established interest of the bourgeois would recognize that the longer you let power fester, the harder it is to get out. But evidently not. I still think there's a decent chance of a worse fascist coming along down the road. I think having Biden as an intermediary lessens that chance.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
There's this is going to be a bit of an echo chamber conversation. But
I wasn't expecting to debate you. Yeah. I do think there's still a decent shot of us getting kerfucked in 2024. But I think maybe, we can see the tide of this country shift a little bit. I think 2016 was a pretty remarkable election. Hillary Clinton was legendarily unpopular, and even then she did still win the popular vote. So maybe this country will trend positively. Hopefully the Hispanics coming out like much more for Trump than expected. Hopefully that is not like a permanent demographic tendency. Hopefully that's
did you see the stats on that though?
Yeah,
I was looking at the stats. It was like, isn't it overwhelmingly Cuban? And yet at the same time, the other demographics were like, they were not shifting in the direction that it's made out to be.
For the other demographics, I think that it was like 1/3 who voted for Trump and 2/3 who voted for Biden, which would be really, really favorable if they were the majority. But since we're counting on them to be the very blue minority, it's still a little bit harrowing. I expected the heavy turnout from Cubans, though. They consistently fuck up Florida, so,
Yep, that's pretty much it. Okay, sorry, I'm back. And now you have my full and undivided attention.
Nice, happy to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I don't know, man. What are you feeling? Like, I feel fantastic about what's accomplished, and I feel confused in terms of did you see the Politico mock cabinet? I'm sure someone shared it with you so far.
I did, yes.
Yeah. and how horrifying it looks.
Well,
but
that's one possible cabinet. I wasn't expecting his cabinet picks to be especially left-leaning, you know. Hopefully Bernie remains on health, you know, and we can see good stuff coming from that. But I do expect him to do the bullshit bipartisan appeal. I very much expect that. I'm not looking forward to anything good coming from the next 2 years especially. I'm just looking forward to things not getting worse. But that does mean something. I don't think we should discount the value of that, you know. When you're in the movies, you know, when you fall down a trap pit into a room where the walls close in and you find a way to prop something up to jam the mechanism and buy you a couple hours time to think of a way out, you don't besmirch the fucking the person who managed to jam the mechanism, you know. That's a good thing. You bought some time. A lot of people are really contemptuous of any solution that doesn't immediately abolish capitalism and establish, you know, a proletarian state. And what can you do with these people, you know?
It's not a switch, you're saying?
It's not a switch, no.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
It's
I was led astray. I was led astray by Twitter. Twitter told me that we just do one thing. If we can all just, you know, we can Wakanda forever our way into
it's a bimodal spectrum, much like gender. You know, you have all capitalist and all socialist, and then it's just a trench of workers' revolutions in the middle, you know?
I will say this because hey, I'm loving the hopium because I'm a hopium kind of person, to say the least. I will say that like there has been an incredible surge of just I would say leftist rhetoric, leftist thought in the United States, especially with the advent of the Bernie Sanders run, to say the very least. Not even the first one, the second one at this point. I saw those closing polls on Fox News of all places, that were saying healthcare should be a human right. That were saying what is it, that housing for all isn't exactly like a controversial idea, stuff like that. Stuff that is supposed to be far leftist, radical, pinko commie nonsense.
But it pulled well. Yeah,
it resonates with people.
Well, I think that's going to be the lesson that we need to teach right now. We have two contradictory trends in the United States of America, and unfortunately, it might be really difficult to navigate them. First of all, neoliberalism is fucking done. Nobody comes out to vote for that shit. People voted for Joe Biden because he wasn't Trump. That was the main impetus of getting people out there to vote. We know that because we did pre-polling on why people chose Biden over Bernie. We know why they came out for him. Okay, so what gets people actually out there? Well, fascism gets people out there. Absolutely, of course. We know that because these people are scared that black people are going to come and rape their white wives or daughters or whatever. So they're terrified and stupid, and they'll vote. But on the left, how do we get more people over? Well, it seems like there are cultural narratives that look bad for us from a moderate perspective, stuff like defunding the police. I don't think anybody won their election because they were pro-defunding the police. I do think there were some Democrats who might have lost it because they were accused of being pro-defunding the police. But on the other hand, there's very far left shit that seems to be taking root in the minds even of right-leaning people. Like you said, the unions, always been a solid push, $15 an hour minimum wage, and even with regards to healthcare, a more progressive healthcare system seems to be something pretty much everybody in America wants. So the difficulty is going to be threading the needle of how do we bread pill the Republicans and the moderates with progressive economic reform without compromising on cultural reform that's going to be used as a spook to try to scare off white voters. How do we simultaneously get people on board with stuff like better healthcare, $15 an hour minimum wage, without getting people terrified of BLM rioters and looters? That's really difficult to do, because as much as I appreciate an intersectional approach, part of being intersectional is learning when it's important to divorce certain subjects, in addition to knowing when to unify them and address them sort of collectively. And I'm not personally willing to accept any future where we give up on progressive issues, but that's going to be the difficulty. How do we thread that needle? Sorry, I talked for a while, but yeah.
No. But do you ever listen to the podcast It Could Happen Here?
Yeah.
Or have you ever? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That I think it was like 3 episodes ago. One of his episodes really resonated with me, where he talks about, again, the rural American, right? What does the poor white American, for example, the one who's been disenfranchised and famously doesn't feel like the the liberal elites are speaking for them. They're kind of like they feel isolated, and they feel the same alienation as everyone else does. I mean, everyone suffers under capitalism. I'm sure I'm preaching to converted here. How do we reach them? Because at the moment, who is reaching them is Fox, is Tucker Carlson, is Breitbart, is everyone who's saying, by the way, I hope you understand this. These problems are the globalists and the elitists. And yes, all these, they weave in that populism with the idea and these classical ideas of, yes, it's not hard to point out that there are rich people and there are poor people. That there is more rich people, that there is more poor people than there is rich people. And that is growing, and your inequities are growing. So at the same time, if they can tap into that podcast really made me realize we, as I guess the left, have to also be able to. I'm not saying we have to appeal to people who are already far gone and Nazis, right? Like I like what you do in terms of like you ridicule or you debate those kind of people.
I have fun with the margins, but most people, margins only exist around a center, a large center, and I feel like the 98% of Republicans are capable of being moved at least on some pivotal issues.
Well, it's that thing, right? It's that old adage. Like, everyone wants to secure a homeland for their children. No, everyone wants at the end of the day.
Well, they do. I mean, they do though. That's the thing. It's a matter of how exclusionary you want to be with that.
Yeah. But what I did want to say before I got clipped out of context and destroyed on the internet for all time is that at the end of the day, they want safety and security for their family. That's like, doesn't matter if you're ISIS. Doesn't matter if you're like, a God-fearing Republican, and doesn't matter if you're a leftist. At the end of the day, like that's what everyone wants. How do you bridge that gap, and how do you change the messaging, I guess, is the key of what you're trying to get at.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. And with regards to mobilizing these people or to moving them over, when we talk about the work, so first of all, when we're talking about the conservative base in America, more than anything else, we're talking about men and white people more than anything else. Not even poor people. The poorer you are, the more likely you are to vote Democrat. The strongest base of Republican support comes in the suburbs, where middle or upper middle class whites clutch their pearls anytime they hear about a convenience store window being broken as some homeless guy steals a payday bar through the little grate. That's the Republican base right there. Scared people of generally decent financial means. When you see all those Trump truck rallies, you think these are fucking minimum wage people out there in their trailer parks that are getting together with their
boat rallies. Who the fuck has boat rallies?
Yeah, with their boats.
The fuck? That's a uniquely American thing.
And
by
their
the way.
brand
I've never
new
seen like
$45,000 gleaming trucks with military hardware in the back. These people aren't poor.
Yeah.
So yeah. There are a lot of lefties who do this, and I hate this. When they say the working class, they mean white people in this country. I feel it's almost like a dog whistle. The working class in this country is, and has for a very long time, largely been people of color, working class immigrants and black people trying to eke out existence in a country that despises them. That's the working class in this country. If we want to change the minds of Republicans, it's not a matter of addressing the working class. It's a matter of addressing white men. And in doing that, man... Well, I mean, they hate BLM. They despise BLM. So that's a hard thing to move them over on. A lot of them don't even need $15 an hour minimum wage because a lot of them have higher paying jobs. There are some who would benefit from that, but many who wouldn't. What do you do? It's like that old Superman comic, What do you give to the men who have everything? Because selling people on a broad cultural and economic shift that you promise them will reduce the amount of alienation in their life, nobody's going to vote for that. That's way too abstract. What policy proposals can you offer to a person who makes $100,000 a year, lives in the suburbs, commutes 30 minutes to work in a nice car, and then comes home to his white family to turn on the TV to listen to Glenn Beck talking about black people?
But that's the point. Do you think they hate BLM, or do you think they hate what they're taught?
Oh, they hate what they're taught. Of course. Well, there is no real BLM. There is no actual anything in existence. There's only the narratives we tell ourselves about it. So, of course, if these people were really given the opportunity to familiarize themselves with these, with these ideas, I think a lot of them would be more amicable. But we're dealing with the propaganda network.
And well, I mean, isn't the idea then that you have to push back against that? Isn't that the whole point of building these empires right now?
Yeah, but that's the difficult thing, right? How effectively can you do that for the people who matter? So I don't really care if like some queer college students in Detroit are like big on BLM. We knew which way they were going to lean anyway. What I care about is in what way can we defend BLM and other like big cultural shifts that appeal to the hegemonic majority, to that group we've discussed previously. Does defending it actually make it worse? Does embracing it totally make it better? I genuinely don't know. I do know this, though. The mainstream Democrat position of tepidly supporting it while performatively denouncing the elements of it that Fox News overplayed, that shit doesn't work. I feel like you have to go like either direction hard. You either have to pretend that BLM has nothing to do with the Democratic Party. It's a completely separate thing, these radicals. And then, but kind of like what the Republicans do with like the far right militias. You tacitly support them, but you never like publicly endorse them. Or you go the other direction completely and you're completely on board. You'll defend every part of it. You'll say the riots are a product of systemic injustice and the only way to fix them is to address the systemic inequality. And I just know the middle approach isn't the one that works.
Well, I can tell you this from someone who has elected, like I said, Justin Trudeau. We got performative wokeness. That's what his brand is, and it always has been to a T. He elects a certain member of parliament that have certain demographics. He elects just the right amount of women, members of the trans community, people of color, all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, yeah, exactly as you're stating right now, it doesn't actually get you results if you don't address the systemic inequities that create Trump. You will get another Trump, and that's the problem. I mean, you're joking around with Tom Cotton, and I don't think he's gonna have enough time to
may or may not be joking. I don't know. There are people who think he's got a decent run.
Yeah, but there's only so many Klansman rallies you can attend before you get a little tired, my dude. Like, come on, lifting those logs to put the T together, they're heavy. It's hard. I don't know if he's got the fortitude to get through this.
I'm just saying that if you if you get complacent and Canada gets invaded by the 2024 Cotton Brigade, that I warned you, okay?
You heard it here first. Well, no. Well, my point was going to be someone like Tucker Carlson, for example, scares the living shit out of me compared to Tom Cotton. I think Tom Cotton appeals to a very specific, ultra-nationalist, white, racist base kind of thing, right? Tucker Carlson can appeal to all Americans who are isolated. He's already really good about this in the messaging. I mean, you talk about this frequently with Crystal Ball and how they kind of normalize this particular brand of populism and what's happening there.
Yeah, by pretending that it's populism. It's absolutely not. The dude is one of the most shameless advocates for like prolonged corporate control of America. He just occasionally will, signal the other way, and people are really hungry for that. Nobody likes neoliberalism. Nobody likes performative wokeness. Nobody likes corporations. Nobody likes corporations. People like Ben Shapiro will pretend that they're in favor of corporations from time to time, but then their positions actually come out when they say that the government needs to pass legislation to keep Twitter from banning conservatives. Nobody actually likes corporations. It's just not cool to be pro-corporation anymore. The real punk rock are actual libertarian. Unironically, people like Joe Jorgensen or whatever, the woman that all the conservatives are raging at right now because she ended up pivoting a couple of key swing states with the votes that went to her. When libertarians, God bless them, they're so stupid. When they actually support like complete hegemonic corporate control, I bless my heart at them. That's so cute. Most conservatives don't believe that shit though. So we need to move past
Comrade
that.
Joe.
Yeah, we need to move past that. And the problem is the Democrats aren't willing to completely, they're not willing to dip their toe in that water because, like Republicans, they have corporate donors. And with fascism, it's possible to performatively denounce corporate control while actually putting a ton of power in the hands of corporations. With socialism, you don't. You actually kind of have to do it. So I feel like it's harder for them to move in that direction because their corporate donors know what they would be doing,
What can Joe do day one? Like you probably studied this a lot more than I did. Like what executive orders can you actually push through? Because like
wait, you mean Joe Biden or Joe Jorgensen?
Yeah, Joe Jorgensen. Yeah, sorry, Comrade Joe. Yeah, no, welcome to the revolution. It was about time.
Wait, but they're both named Joe. Which one?
I mean Joe Biden.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but what can Joe Biden do realistically? Executive orders, day one, all the kind of stuff you said. $15 minimum wage. That's not on the table. Fair enough. because that's one of the ones that I have the highest sell on. I'm guessing he's going to do something in terms of like he's not going to do the like. Is he going to do the War Measures Act? Is he going to do what needs to be done? Is he?
Well, he said he's going
like,
to implement. He said he's going to implement the national mask mandate, which is within his power. He could have a national lockdown, or at least he could sort of roundabout one. With regards to the war powers, I feel like at this point we have enough personal protective equipment in this country that it wouldn't be necessary for him to implement that in order to get more equipment being produced. So it would be interesting to me if he oversteps in that respect, or like if he decides to go that hard.
What about using it for a jobs program?
For a jobs program, I don't think he can do that through executive order.
Okay.
I think basically anything that affects the economy or requires like the implementation of new of like a new outreach or new programs from the government. I'm pretty sure you would need to if they didn't like it. Executive, I feel like there's a lot of law around this, but it feels like the executive order thing is very untested in our country, as in there's not a great understanding of how far you can go and how much you can do. But it seems like, generally speaking, executive orders get harder to implement the more money it would cost to do them, because the more money you have to throw at them, the more that becomes Congress's job to manage. So,
and does Congress have to approve the budget of the executive order?
And Congress approves those matters, but it's really wiggly too. And of course, Donald Trump passed executive orders that ended up getting challenged in courts and ended up, So the actual boundaries are really, really, really shaky. But I don't think Joe is going to go anywhere near as he could conceivably if he were like really dedicated, you know?
Well, that was the other question I had in terms of like, this is a done deal, right? Like people have been asking me, and I was like, yeah, I don't see this going any higher. I don't see like any court worth their scent being like, yeah, no, this is definitely something worth disputing. Like the election's done, right? This is not going to be a Supreme Court anything. Like this is a nothing burger, right? I think even the Supreme Court blog official Twitter account, and they release a statement saying that, like, you know, don't worry if it comes down to which president won more of the Electoral College. It could be.
I'm sorry, I missed that last sentence. Hit me with the last one.
The last one was
check, Amy.
Oh yeah, no worries. I was saying that, like, is there any possibility that like this, like, Trump is basically, he seems like this is the bunker days, right? I mean, it's so much sadder, by the way, than the bunker. At least there was some honor in the whole bunker thing. This seems more just like a petulant child who's just like, please notice me, and then one last bukkake of freedom. Why am I being censored on every single like social media
He's
platform?
never going to accept the results of the election. It's actually never going to happen at all. Isn't that
how
insane?
does this play out? Well, yeah, I'm sorry. The last 4 years have been like,
but like,
I've been in a never-ending spiral of what the fuck is going on.
Like I've said this before, but I still firmly believe this. Like, if Donald Trump wanted to, he could actually cement long-term cultural power with a really, really, really good concession speech. He could talk about how, you know, he did his best. However, the powers that be and the mobilization of the state and big tech, they don't want him to be president one more time. He never actually says he didn't lose. Just say they don't want him to be president, and that he basically dog whistles QAnon, that he had work left unfinished, and that he hopes that he or someone high-minded like him will take up the mantle sometime soon, but this country's got a rough 4 years ahead of it. If he could signal with some dignity, like this really far-right conspiratorial bent, he could do a lot of damage on the way out. Unfortunately for him, he's a fucking moron, so he's not going to do that. They're going to drag him up to the podium for his concession speech, and he's going to read from a postcard that he's shakily written on about how he didn't actually lose, and how Twitter has it out for him, and he won bigly, and so on. And then he's going to go off and, I don't know, sit in the penthouse toilet for 2 weeks until he kills himself.
But yeah, the Elvis style. Well, I was going to say, though, if you were the one who came up with that speech, I wouldn't want to have to be the staffer who tried to sell him on it, because that would never work. Where you're like, yeah, Mr. President, there is a chance you could walk away from this and your legacy would be preserved forever. You just have to be, you have to use something called dignity. I'm not going to try and explain that to you, sir. It's going to be far beyond the pale. But anyways, you would have to use that: grace, aplomb, all words that are new. I know, word of day calendar. You're getting 4 all at once, and then on top of which, you may have to concede. Like that would be like, what is that, Command EXE or whatever? He would break on the process.
Yeah,
like,
of course. He's not capable of doing it. You know, there's something that I find interesting. Some people say, like, we worry about a stronger Trump coming eventually. You know, like we worry, you know, this is just Trump level 1. What if we get like Trump level 3, who's not an idiot down the line? And I wonder,
Shang Tsung.
Does Trump's idiocy actually help him? I think it actually does. I feel like if Trump was like a conniving, intelligent bureaucrat slowly clawing his way to power, and he actually was capable of, you know, maneuvering the political system without coming off like a fucking brainlet, I feel like that would actually hurt him because he wouldn't have that same attractive charisma that lends him the public support he has right now.
Like being a fail son though, because he's like the ultimate fail son. There's
well, they want
no
that
better
because Republicans are fail sons, so they see themselves in that, you know.
Ah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. He's an avatar for all of them. Every fail son. I am your fail son. Je suis fail son.
Yeah, that's
he's
why
like a whole social movement.
People were so mad about the Hunter Biden thing. They wanted to expose an enemy fail son that they could project their insecurities onto, and it turns out Hunter Biden is a fucking Chad with a horse cock who just fucks bitches like 24/7 and doesn't give a fuck about anything. And then and then like now it didn't stick. Notice how, by the way, when was the last time any of you heard anything about Hunter Biden or a laptop? I haven't heard any shit in a week. They completely dropped that. Even the voters stopped caring the moment the election happened. They knew that was nothing from day one. They knew that was worthless.
Well, not to mention, okay, horse cocks aside, and you know, foot jobs and all that wonderful stuff, and then you know, normalizing sex work. Also, did not expect that. That was wonderful. That was the first time that it humanized him. Like, holy shit. I have a hard time doing like Joe Biden apologia, right? All of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, here's the worst and most damning thing about Joe Biden. He was a good father. He was a very wonderful father. He said, I love you, son. We're going to get through this. I was like, but that's your October surprise? Seriously? Horse cocks and I love you, son? Like that is so fucked. Like
there was that funny 4chan post where they said like, wow, what were these Hunter leaks for, to make us want to kill ourselves? Because it was like Hunter Biden, 6'2", horse cock, has white children, fucks people every day. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, politics is all about sex anyway, so I feel like we were all just waiting for that conspiracy. That's why, I mean, so many people were obsessed about the Stormy Daniels and the P tapes early on with Trump's presidency as well. Obama, I feel like, was a really unique exception because Obama seems like he actually is a family man, you know?
Which is weird. What was the worst thing Obama ever did? Dijon? Was it Dijon? Did he put Dijon on a burger?
Well, there were
like,
the camps and all the drone bombings and stuff. But
no. Those are the worst, the real things he did. I'm talking about what the media would say. Like,
okay,
what is the Obama
worst
controversy? What's
non-scandals.
Obamagate?
Yeah, the worst non-scandals were the tan suit. Also, the whole Michelle Obama's a man thing, and then all the totally not horny people would. All the totally not horny people would. Oh, of course it's racism. Yeah, and they draw her as like a gorilla or whatever. But we know they're jerking off to this shit. They're drawing her with like a fat cock packed under her dress. Like we know. Like one of the things that really bothers me is the absolute transparency of their hypocrisy. You know, if you're a racist piece of shit, have the dignity to not jerk off to black women, okay? But they fucking do. Like, if you're gonna be racist, you can't. You can't do both, okay? You can't hate black people, but then clearly thirst after them. It's really weird, you know?
Oh, and also come lunchtime, it's like, time for tacos, friends. Here we go.
Time for tacos. Also, with trans people,
time for the mastery of the white race.
They do this harder with trans people than literally anybody. I swear to God, if you go on 4chan, these people alternate. They like oscillate like a metronome between virulent transphobia and the fetishization of feminine people with penises. They like snap back relentlessly.
Okay. All right, well, I have to ask, are all these memes that are popping up all over the place where all these like MAGA people are like, I'm going to transition now, are those real? Are they like, I've seen so many on the internet where it's like, I've actually, like, I hated who I was, I'm ready to transition, but like MAGA was the only thing keeping me because I thought, you know, I was going to be able to purify myself for all this kind of stuff. Like, are those memes?
I feel like at least some of them have to be, right? I mean, there are plenty of people in my chat right now, literally right now at this moment, who were conservatives who only realized they were trans around the same time they realized that their previous politics were dog shit.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
wow.
Well, it's like the Christian and being gay thing, right? Like, usually realizing that your politics are incompatible with your lifestyle comes along with recognizing who and what you actually are. Yeah, somebody just said, yeah, this happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a modern day phenomenon. Then it is exactly the parable that you're explaining, except it's happening in real time before our eyes.
Conservative transitioning is going to be like the mail-in votes, okay? With Democrats, because they're on board with the trans thing, they're going to go a slow, steady curve up with more trans people. But with Republicans, the cope of the election is going to have a sharp jump up and then like flatline as the next Republican president comes in. So it's exactly like the mail-in ballot quote unquote fraud.
Well done. Which was totally real, by the way. Totally real, by the way. Not made up.
Totally real.
Hey, are y'all gonna pardon Trump? Y'all gonna give?
Trump I don't have any fucking control over that. It's probably gonna happen.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying is Biden gonna pardon?
It's
Trump?
probably gonna happen.
I felt like we got the opening salvo of that. I felt that was in the cards.
It's almost guaranteed that it's going to happen. There are three main reasons why they kind of have to. First of all, there should never be consequences to being the president, ever.
Of course not. What are war crimes?
Yeah,
hey, war crimes, am I right?
Yeah, if there are consequences, that sets a bad precedent for future leaders. You don't want that to happen.
Second, you cannot be a president and not a war criminal.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah. Second of all, it would make him a martyr massively because he has enough lawyers and wealth to drag out the proceedings for years and years and years. He's an old man. He might even die before we actually get a ruling, and it would just turn into Russiagate 2.0, and people would say they're trying to kill him because he holds secrets about the deep state. It would just the best. I feel like for consolidating power as like a Democrat, the best thing that you could really do is not charge him for anything he did while he was in office, and just cross your fingers and hope that he like gets arrested on something else unrelated to his presidency, and then after he's been arrested for that, you can just leak all the info that you have about him that would make him look really bad in retrospect. That way you avoid the blame and he still ends up in jail, you know?
And he can also get he can only get pardoned for federal crimes, right? Aren't the state crimes still in play?
Yeah,
like, he's got a lot of crimes, so
he can be pardoned for federal crimes, but the decision to go after him for state crimes would be like really, really difficult, you know? Like it would still it would require a mobilization of state resources that I expect they're not going to be willing to do, and time too, a lot of time.
Man,
I mean, he's suffering enough as it is. He's clearly handling this worse than literally anybody else on Earth. So I feel I feel like we're still getting
so
something.
True. No, I was like, there's so many ways this can play out. I don't know what your week's been like. I know because we both been so busy with all of this, and like every day it has been a roller coaster of emotions. You know, Tuesday was a little bit sad. I had Chelsea Manning on my stream on Tuesday, and she was a lightning rod. Vaush, like you have got to see her work. It's incredible. She was behind the scenes from the start of the day. As soon as the polls closed or whatever, the first polls. She predicted everything with mathematical precision, the likes of which I've never seen. Like, I know why she is a feared enemy of the state or whatever you want to call her. It was a thing of consummate beauty. She got everything right. Right.
I hope to speak with her at some point. One of the big issues I have getting
I'll set it up.
Big names on is that, of course, there's a lot of controversy associated with me. So a lot of the people who would otherwise
getting
be willing
big
to
names
come
on, like, wasn't your election with like Shoe on Ed ContraPoints?
Oh,
then you had, like,
of course.
That other massive YouTuber, and then right after
but
him,
they're already
Chris Hayes is coming on, and like
they're already mired in drama. I'd love to have like Congress people on, but of course then it would be like like Congresswoman Tlaib associates with anti-Semitic, far left Antifa, So we'll see. I feel like I've made my bed and now I have to sleep in it with regards to the controversy thing, but it's okay. I'm enjoying what I do.
You've been so controversy free lately, though. I don't know what's going on. Is it age?
I think I'm a little better at this now. Also, I just haven't been arguing with lefties. You know, there's always controversy that I can drag up. For example, a pretty prominent left-leaning black activist group or advocacy group on Twitter recently dug up an out-of-context clip of mine, got a couple of thousand likes on their retweet, saying like, oh, this is what the lefties we need. And it was a clip where I was saying I don't care about black culture in the context of I don't care about culture for its own merit. I think that all cultures should have the freedom to spread or, interact or grow in and out of prominence on their own will. I don't want to defend cultures on their own as though they're a static thing. But it got clipped, and so they talked about it. And I have the choice at any point in time to push the nuclear button on this and make a video on it and just attract a fuckload of hate. But I'm really, really, really trying to focus on the election and class consciousness and other issues that I think are more ubiquitously interesting. And my channel's been doing well lately, so I think that's the stuff people care about anyway.
I took a big page from, well, I'm gonna be honest, I still don't understand cum. I don't. just the acronym. I just mean the wordplay. I understand the purpose, and I took the purpose to heart. I think it was I don't know if we spoke about this. There was 2 or 3 times where there was just like posts by very prominent leftists gearing up before the election that you do that thing. I don't know if you do that thing where you literally grab your own hand because you feel it moving towards Twitter, and you can feel the thoughts forming in your brain as your hand is inching towards the keyboard. You're like
the N key.
I'm gonna say it. You even type it out, and you're looking at it, and you're proofreading it maybe, and you're like, oh yeah, this this will toast them good. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, but to what aim? Like, what do I get from this? Like, I give Jack Dorsey, I'm sure, maybe like $2,000 because our accounts are both prominent enough that it's going to get a whole bunch of people angry. Their fans all go after me. My fans go all after him. But is anyone talking about the issues that matter? Are we talking about abolishing ICE? Are we talking about, even dismantling capitalism, comrades, or anything like that? Or are we just arguing on Twitter past each other? Are we screaming past each other for fucking days?
Yeah, well,
most likely.
I mean, the point number 1 is never argue on Twitter. There's absolutely no benefit to be had from it. The only time you should ever argue on Twitter is if you can post short messages or videos or images that make other people angry. The only currency on Twitter is rage, and if you can get it from other people quickly and easily, go for it. But if you're actually going to try and like dig in the trenches to argue with somebody, what a fucking waste of time. I got so much happier when I stopped. Now when people quote tweet me or they shit talk me or anything like that, I just ignore them, or I talk about them on stream and wait for my followers to dogpile them. I don't even have to lift a fucking finger. It's so much easier, way more drama free. It's amazing. I love it so much. It's way better.
And it's zen in a way, I hope.
It's zen. Yeah, it absolutely is zen. Because if I can speak selfishly for a moment,
of course,
I'm not by any means perfect, nor has my advocacy been, but I feel like I often get treated uncharitably.
That would be a weird brand, by the way. Vaush, I'm perfect.
Well, look, we're working on that. Look, merchandise pending, okay?
Yeah,
but anyway, sometimes I get, I think, treated a little bit poorly, smidge, perhaps a little uncharitably online. And for the first like year and a half of me being on YouTube, anytime that happened, I would guess engage with it myself because it felt like there was nobody there to defend me. So I have to do it, of course. I'm me, But now reliably, my fans do it, and it makes me feel really great. And what I've noticed is it actually tones down the antagonism from the other side as well, because they were only pulling that shit because they knew that they were going to be speaking into an echo chamber. They knew it would be signal boosted by other people. Whereas now that there's pushback, there's support, the general level of antagonism goes down because it's not worth their time anymore to argue with my fans. I feel like my I guess prominence has actually decreased the toxicity online by a pretty significant amount, which is pretty awesome.
I wonder if there's going to be an academic paper on that, like the Vaush report.
I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome, to be honest.
But do you find that power also has given you the ability to have more catharsis online? Because I'll speak as a humble 40,000 Twitter account. I love that I can put certain people on blast, and I trust me, I won't talk of the beanie here. I know this is it's a beanie free zone now. It's a friendly beanie zone. But anyways, certain other people, like the drinkers of dog cum, for example, I like that I can put them on blast. I like that they can make a terrible tweet, like Steven Crowder can say something, and I can quote tweet him, and then I can get a whole bunch of people to laugh at that. Like that to me brings me some catharsis against the right and the libs now. I guess now it's the libbing hour. That's what 2020.
Well, it feels amazing to do that. Yeah, obviously. I think the real I guess the only real like hands off, the only the only restriction you have to put on that obviously is it's super irresponsible to dogpile like good people who have made bio mistakes or just really small accounts. But most of the time we're talking about like large figures, other large figures. And in that case, it's totally fine, totally worthwhile.
You're not one of the people who does like I don't get creators who take like a 10 follower account and then quote tweet them. And be like, not based, and then all of a sudden it's like,
some people just like ruining some people's days. You see that if you quote tweet like a random reply comment, or if you here's a really annoying thing people do. They'll have an argument in the comments with somebody and they'll retweet all of their own posts just so they can get other people to jump in on your argument. That's pussy shit right there. If you're arguing with somebody, just keep it to yourself,
Yeah.
Don't signal boost to get other people involved in that. You know?
I agree. I'm guilty of that, but I'm guilty of that when I want like someone to notice me. Like I did that to like the other day. I'm sure you saw AOC was like, "Is anyone going to play Among Us with me?" And I know some huge accounts said like, "Oh, me," right? And I think you're.
Oh
in there
yeah,
too.
that's fine. That's fine. If that's an honest,
I was so scared I wouldn't have the power to be noticed. So I was like, retweet myself. You know, like
that is an honest, good, good fashioned signal boost that I personally completely avow.
It's a wholesome
I
boost,
endorse it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wholesome.
Yeah.
But the I don't know. Internet popularity is really weird. Like managing that and and navigating that. Oh wait, hold on. To ubiquitize this conversation a little bit, moving back to the election. What did you do? What have you done? I guess over the slow, dragged out victory process.
In terms of what, my celebration or my reporting?
Yeah, well, all of it. Yeah, what have you been? How have you been hitting it up? You know.
Like what substances or what statistics?
What have you been doing, my man?
I need. We got to ground our axioms every time we speak, Vaush, right? I don't want this to be misconstrued at some point or someone to take.
I got drunk for the first time in a while.
Really?
2 nights ago.
Are you? Do you not imbibe? Is that a thing? Is that why you're such a lightning rod?
Up until recently, I couldn't drink. I'm alcohol intolerant. I got drunk too many times in college, and my body started rejecting alcohol. But I found a really nice,
That's the thing.
very sweet. Yeah, a very sweet wine. That is actually just delicious. So I went through like 2 bottles of that on stream. It was really, really fun.
Oh, I gotta watch that. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I guess a mix of emotions, a mix of moments. Tuesday was an unusual night because I at no point thought that Trump was going to win. I knew Trump wasn't going to win, but I was very scared that the worst case scenario, which was pretty much this was going to be a closer race than expected, on top of which Trump is now going to use this to pull a soft coup, which it just all played out in real time kind of situation. And it's not as if like I'm not Nostrasurface or anything like that, right? Like there was so many clips that came out the next day that were just like here's Bernie Sanders predicting the entire thing verbatim, right? And I was like, that is really good beat for beat because that's how it played out. But there was dozens of people who were like, clearly this is what he's going to do because Trump knows. There was some staffer, I'm sure, who told Trump, like, by the way, you can't win this. You're fucked. You're fucked, son. But here's what we can do, all right? You can basically slightly get close in some areas, and then you basically have to call the election, say you won, at which point bring it to the Supreme Court. You've already stacked it with those 3. Same for people who worked on Bush v. Gore. You're looking pretty. You're going to be great. Here's how it's going to go. That's the play. And then of course that is the play, and it's perfect for a guy like Trump who's just so grandiose. I gotta basically be bombastic in all things I do. So that Tuesday was scary. When I woke up on Wednesday, I'm sure like you, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I don't want to steel man you here, but I was suddenly feeling a lot more confident. Things were trickling in. It looked to be that I had always thought, and maybe I'm just too much of an optimist on this, that once those mail-in ballots came, this was just going to be a flood. I was like, there's no situation in which this man, Donald Trump, has been telling all of his base to not do a thing that wasn't going to backfire on him. For him to be like, you know what, not only don't use these mail-in ballots, but at the same time, let's get rid of the post office because we don't need this anymore. Because clearly, this element of American society shouldn't exist. I knew this was gonna like backfire at the very least.
Yeah,
right?
My favorite. This literally just happened an hour ago. My favorite, boomerang coming back to hit you in the face moment was. Hold on. So this is from this is from earlier today. Breaking: Georgia Secretary of State says officials discovered an issue involving ballot reporting in Fulton County. So this is like a real issue with the ballot counting. Like, oh fuck. Update. Fulton County officials discover a reporting error that has taken Joe Biden's lead in Georgia from 4,000 votes to 7,000 votes. So they almost doubled his lead because of a reporting error they pushed to find. So it's absolutely spectacular.
Just chef's kiss.
Yeah, we won this goddamn election, and we earned it too because the past 4 years have been rough. I mean, I can say this. I personally have not really been affected by the Trump regime, like at all, Especially, so, I mean, it happened when I was in college, and I got through college, and then shortly after that, I started the channel, and by the time I had started the channel, I hadn't really interacted with any of the consequences of the Trump administration, you know? Because college can be a bubble, to an extent. And then once this picked up, I've been privileged enough to not really have to worry about it. But I have heard so many stories from people who email me, who DM me, who comment in my chat, or talk in the YouTube comments down below. And the extent to which this has like damaged real people is extraordinary. And so I feel like there's a leftist impulse to cringe at the idea that Trump actually is bad, that Orange Man actually is bad, which is frustrating to me because we never should have ceded that ground. He is very bad. And I'm happy to have him out, if for no other reason than because I think it'll give some people some room to breathe, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely I completely agree. Well, it's the same thing with people who are basically trying to tell you that, yeah, he's bad, but you know, Joe Biden is going to be worse. That was the right wing thing. Like that argument where it's like he's not the president. Like Joe Biden's not the president. And I was thinking the same thing when the people on the left were like, "Hey, by the way, did you know that Joe Biden's going to be really, really bad as well?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, he's going to be shitty." But Trump is the president right now, and Trump is doing the bad things. And they're really fucked up. I had a hard time, Vaush, trying to tell people, because a lot of my audience is American, trying to tell people about all the fucked up shit that goes on in Canada. Because I would be like, yeah, this is fucked up.
Most Americans have no fucking idea, dude. They have no fucking clue. Most Americans, even a lot of lefty Americans, think of Canada as some sort of like, you know, almost like a Scandinavian paradise, but closer, you know?
Oh, yeah, utopia.
Yeah, utopian, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, but even then, even if I'm like, yeah, we're actually engaged in eugenics, we're doing a eugenics program against Indigenous women. We have a federal program that basically prevents them from ever giving birth again. That's Canada. That's really hard for me to do on a regular basis when they're like, but you guys have public health care, right? I was like, yeah, we do have it, and everyone gets it, right? Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are.
That shows you, though, when people think of progressive countries, they think of progressive economic policies. It just goes to show where people's leanings are. Do they still do the Jew screw in Canada?
Sorry, what's the Jew screw?
The Jew screw, where you like you hit a Jewish person into the ground, you twist them.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Canada's not as bad as it used to be then.
Sorry, that was a thing?
Yeah.
Are you saying juice or Jews? I'm so confused. You're fucking with me.
I'm sorry. I could have kept that together a little bit better. I'm sorry. I got the.
This is an OJ meme. What the hell?
I got the giggles. No, the joke. The joke, if I could have pulled it off, would have been: see, not even you're aware of how dark Canada, how bad Canada's social policies are.
Okay,
but I got the giggles. You know, I'm a giggly boy. I'm happy. I'm glad that doesn't happen over there. Oh wait, actually, because now I'm curious because I brought it up.
Sure.
Is there does Canada have a weird history with like anti-Semitism? Is that like a big thing?
Oh, absolutely.
There?
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, no. We have current problems with anti-Semitism. Trust me, this country is rife with racism. We have a KKK. We have QAnon. A QAnoner drove into the prime minister's house trying to assassinate him, smashed through the gates. That was a QAnoner, smashed through the gates with a fucking arsenal of weapons in the truck to murder the prime minister of Canada. That happens, that happened this year.
Wait, can you just do that in Canada? Can you just drive up to the fucking to your Capitol building?
Okay, so our prime minister's office is at a different location because there's asbestos in the walls than the actual one. It's the thing. Don't get me started. Anyways, so he drove through the walls of the temporary, the gates of the temporary one, but the gates were of course quite reinforced, and his car got totaled. His truck, very powerful truck, got totaled, and it's very funny actually. So it's basically a QAnon Nazi who tried to smash and assassinate the prime minister, gets the truck totaled in the act of, and then once they actually had a Canadian robot. I want to preface the word Canada in front of everything because it makes it sillier. They had a Canadian robot have to go into the truck and to pull the weapons out to make sure they were okay. At which point they were like, "Yeah, this guy." We looked up his social media. He was a far right QAnoner. So thank you.
Wow, I'm like really concerned for you guys right now.
I know.
There are like 18 things I want to say in response to that. About the asbestos or the robot or the gates or any of that. First of all, if a car went over 30 miles per hour anywhere within a quarter mile of the White House, it would be fucking Stinger missiled. Yeah. Having been to DC, you know how in like video games, the evil fortress that you fight the boss in is like there's no civic infrastructure. It's just like layered fortresses upon layered fortresses.
Every time.
That is the White House. The entire fucking like 3-block area around the White House is just nothing but Secret Service patrols, armored cars, tanks, tank traps, and walls.
I went there a couple years ago actually, and I was there during the DACA protests. And I noticed that. I was like, it seemed like there was like a gated layer between a gated layer between a gated layer.
Yeah, we're not letting you fuckers burn down this one. Not again.
Oh shit! Is Trump barricading himself inside? Is that happening?
Yeah. They erected a wall around the White House. It's actually really funny.
So what's gonna happen? What's like? I know there's no precedent. We live in
They said they wanted to
times,
do it to prevent property damage being done to the White House and its lawn, like people throwing shit after the results of the election. Frankly, I think it's just so like Donnie can cry on the White House lawn and roll around without any of the cameras getting to him, you know?
Oh my god.
You also can't have things flying above DC. That probably goes without saying, but if you send a drone or like a kite or anything like above the 30 feet into the air, they have lasers.
Like anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. Unironically, the airspace around DC is probably the most controlled airspace anywhere outside the Korean DMZ.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, they don't. It's the president, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh wait, hold on.
Y'all don't
Wait.
fuck around.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Chat's telling me to tell the story. Have you heard the story about how I was detained in D.C. by the Secret Service?
No.
Oh. Yeah. No. It happened. It happened a while ago, way back before I had the channel. But I went there over with my friends on vacation one day. And,
sorry, I was just gonna say sometimes Chad acts like a really cool mom. That's really cute. That's like, Vaush, tell the story. Yeah, please tell the story to
they're
your
very
Canadian
cute.
friend.
When I was drinking, they kept telling me to drink water. They're very cute. They're very maternalistic, you know.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah, go on.
Oh, well, anyway, the gist of it was basically that I was a little baby anarchist back then, you know, so I was loudly commenting while walking around D.C., you know, walking by armed patrols and stuff that, you know, like, oh, yeah, dude, this is such cool. I wonder what it'd take to smash all this, you know, like basically openly inquiring as to the military strength it would take to smash D.C. And eventually we realized that there was this massive dude tailing us, like this big 6'4" motherfucker, big white guy with a shaved head and like the earpiece and sunglasses. And we thought, there's no way. There's no fucking way we're getting tailed by Secret Service right now. That has to just be a huge dude in a suit with an earpiece and sunglasses. But nope, that motherfucker pulled us around a corner and fucking detained us. And 2 cars rolled up on the corner and pulled onto the fucking sidewalk. And guys with guns got out, and they had us fucking questioned for an hour. And it was
holy shit.
It's a whole goddamn process, you know.
Wow. So what's that like? Did you get bagged and tagged?
Well, they kept us on the street. They separated me from my friends because I was the loudest one, and they asked us separate questions about what we were doing in D.C. to try to corroborate our narratives. They asked a bunch of questions, including whether or not I had... Oh, God. Okay. So the person who tailed us interviewed my friends. I was interviewed by this clearly fucking ex-military dude with like with a fucking rifle that he was just holding in front of him, like the neck strap, you know? And he interviewed me for the hour. And okay, so here's the stupidest thing that I did, because a lot of this was just, you know, what's your name, so on, where were you born, blah, blah, like all this stuff that they could probably double check in their database. But at one point they asked me, you know, like, do you have any weapons on you? And of course I didn't at all, nothing, keys, you know. But I said, because I like the jokes. I said, well, no, but you know, I took wrestling back in high school, so one could say my entire body's a weapon. And he actually reached to the hand to the fucking handle of his gun and looked at me and he said, "Is that accurate?" And I was like, "No, okay." I played it off, but
holy shit.
The whole thing went off. The whole thing went on for an hour, and eventually it ended because one more car came up and 2 detectives came out. And they were like older, you know, and they didn't have guns, or at least they definitely did, but they weren't carrying guns. And they showed up and they were like, "All right, this has gone on long enough. We can either take you in or we let you go. You're detained, but like it's up to you. Do you want like just say you don't want us to take you in, just please." And there were 2 people, one arguing that they needed to take us in, and one guy saying, "I don't want to deal with the paperwork," and the guy who didn't want to deal with the paperwork won. So we ended up walking. And that was it. That's the whole story.
What were they going to detain you on? What was like? What's the charge?
I mean, I don't think the Secret Service cares that much. I think that, I mean, I don't think they could have held me for long, but I don't think they care that much. It's mostly a matter of how aggressively I want to assert my rights, you know? And at the time, I wasn't as aware. I think nowadays I would just tell them to piss off unless I was getting arrested. But back then, I wasn't fully aware of the process, you know?
Would you ever contemplate flexing your moderate internet success? Would you be like, this is not a regular human being. I'm not a civilian. This is Vaush.
Well, I need to be. I need to be live streaming this. Sir, your illegal activities are being broadcast to 7,000 people. We are all watching you do this, right, sir? And I'm sure that. And by the way, have to say, the day that I IRL stream me getting the shit beaten out of me by the Secret Service would be the day I break some kind of donation record, because I know you fuckers would pay us for that. Yeah,
of course. Oh yeah, they would start bail funds. I would be getting like pings like, Lance, have you heard about Vaush? You have to do something. And I was like, all right, sure, yeah.
They would love that. You all would enjoy that.
Yeah. No, that's wild. Oh man, Vaush, the vigilante. I didn't know.
Yeah, Vaush the Stampede. So it goes. Have you watched Trigun?
No, I have not. I have
not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was still fun. It's a fun watch.
Wait, Dragon?
Trigun, the 90s anime.
Trigun. Oh no. Okay, so if you didn't know this, and I know you've got a huge weeb audience, I'm about to probably get myself nuked. I know nothing. I know nothing. I have seen nothing. I'm such a weed poser. I know what ayaya means. I know what ubu means. I've had to learn these terms, but when people are like Tokyo Ghoul and okay, you want to have some self-debasement. Speaking of which, I thought Hunter Squared, as I thought that was called Hunter x Hunter. So I was in my chat was like, Lance, you have to watch Hunter x Hunter. I was like, oh, cool. Hunter x Hunter. Is that like, and they're like, no, Lance, the X is silent. I was like, oh, so it's like pizza. So what is it?
Yeah,
Hunter. Is that how it goes? I'm like, no, Lance, true fans call it Hunter Squared. I was like, how many layers is there? It's the
Don't listen to them. They're lying to you. People call it Hunter. They're fucking with you.
Oh, really? It's not called Hunter Squared?
Maybe some people call it Hunter Squared. I haven't seen people call it that.
All right.
Hunter is a great anime. If you're looking to get into any stuff, I think the problem with anime is that it has a completely different cultural language than like Western animation. There's a huge, like, if you just watch an anime without knowing anything about anime, all the weird like facial expressions and the timing of all the jokes feels really off. I feel like you need good intermediaries that sort of feel familiar, even if you're not that familiar with anime. I think that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably the best for that.
Okay, well, we had a vote. That one got second. First place got Cowboy Bebop. So
yes, that one also. Yeah. Okay, then your community has a decent handle on that.
Oh, okay, but yeah, my question was going to be like, if I've watched the big movies, if I've watched, like, you know, as a kid, I watched what was it, Ghost in the Shell. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You know, I've watched oh fuck, I'm gonna be so bad at this. I'm such a poser. Anyways, I've watched the mainstream
Spirited Away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Totoro. Yeah.
Hold my hand. Hold my hand here. So I've watched them all. If I've enjoyed those, I understand the aesthetic, right? Like I bridge the gap for the humor, all that kind of stuff. Or is it goes even deeper than that? I have to. It's like question mark.
Oh my god! I thought you froze for a second. That was such a convincing pause.
Oh, sorry. No, that was more me. That was me adding a question mark to a sentence without actually vocalizing it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a lot of fun. I've been trying to watch a lot more lately, because I really like consuming media. I think that, but the problem is people consume media thoughtlessly. They just want something on because they feel empty and alone if they're not listening to something. They want something on to fill the void. I like very actively consuming media, criticizing it. You know, like, how does this relate to other things that I've watched? You know, how does this does it innovate? In what way can I, like, is this new, or is this like a waste of time? Am I just re-consuming things I've already watched? And I've been trying to watch more. Been trying to watch Appare Ranman, which I was originally watching, then had to delay because the studio closed it due to COVID, but now they've reopened it, which is it's fine, maybe a little better than average. I'm watching The Boys right now, but everyone knows about The Boys. That's not anime.
Oh, it was great. I by the way, I'm the exact same way. You're speaking my language. I couldn't agree more.
You know, it's really good.
I love consuming media.
Golden Kamuy. I'm watching that right now. 3rd season's currently airing. Phenomenal. Very progressive too. It's all about the gist of it is it's a crime heist. Basically, it's kind of hard to describe. It's basically a crime heist between a veteran of the Japanese-Russian War and of a young Ainu girl, essentially an indigenous culture in northern Japan. And the show is very respectful and fastidious about the representation of the Ainu culture and all the unique cultural differences. And it's all very good. It's also very, very gay, which I appreciate, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm like 25% gay, so that works out.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. That's okay. I'll add that to the list. Now I have so many different things to watch.
That one's very underrated, by the way. Stuff like Cowboy Bebop, everyone knows that stuff. Golden Kamuy, I only found that because I saw it on the whim, and I really liked the costume design for the main character when I saw a trailer for it. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a look. Turns out really good. What do you know?
But okay, I just have one last question though. Then what do you watch besides anime? What like? Because you just said you love consuming media, and I know about your predilection for anime. Like
No, it's mostly
widely reported on.
Oh no, it really is mostly anime and manga. I watch Western cartoons as well. I don't like live action stuff that much. Maybe it's because my father works in the movie industry in Hollywood, so I got kind of sick of it a little bit and all the aesthetic around like actors in the Hollywood industry and that whole scene. But I really like animation, so anything relating to art or animation, I'll get behind. You know.
I didn't know that about you. The lore goes deep. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, I won't dox you, but would I know stuff he's worked on? Did you have like are you like Charlie Murphy? Do you have a whole bunch of stories from your childhood where you're like,
I didn't go to the studios. My dad mostly works in sci-fi stuff. He's worked on Babylon 5. He worked on some of the Bond films. He's got a more rigorous list than that. I feel like if he was watching right now, he'd be disappointed at how little I remember of what he's watched. But no, yeah, he's watched on a decent. There was even an old show. I don't remember if it was Babylon 5 or it was something else, but one of the ship's ensign number, he made my birthday because he was given control over the modeling of that ship. So the ensign
cute.
number, you know, like you have the Enterprise C, but it's actually like 11-C or something like that. There was a ship, and it was my birth date that was set for it, which I thought was really sweet. So that would have been around the time
that's
I
really
was born.
cute. Do they watch you stream? Do they know about all this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do they think?
I think they adore my content. The thing is, I'm pretty vacuous and make sexual jokes back when I was living with them as well. So I don't think I'm not like shy about doing it here or anything. And I never have anything negative to say about them. So it's not like I have to curtail myself in any way. My brother actually is in the chat pretty often.
Oh, but it's not like your mom's like, oh, he's talking about horse cocks again. We're gonna have to tune out or something.
She's used to those jokes, I think. No, she's very much enjoyed the electoral coverage. So I think that horse cock jokes or not, I feel like the general package, no pun intended, has been positive on their end.
And that's where your political leanings come from. That's like, did you get that from them?
Well, my parents are both liberals, but they're like even back when I was growing up, I think my parents were waiting for like a Bernie Sanders type, you know. But they weren't full on leftists. It would be more like is there a specific term, like a theory-oriented term for a leftist who, or for a liberal who would be a leftist if they were just informed of like 5 definitions? You know, I feel like that's the position they were in.
Destiny.
Nice. We're shade free here. I'm not getting looked into that drama.
No, I jumped. I'm totally joking.
Right. Yes, jokes. Anyway, yeah, no, they were a great influence. Love my parents.
No, that's really cute. That's cute.
I'm just glad they like the content. I would hate it if they fucking hated the content. You know, how much would that suck? Like imagine like calling your parents or something, like, hey, what's up? And they were like, yeah, we caught some of your stream today. You're like, how'd that go? And they were like, well, we watched it for a couple minutes before turning it off. That hurt.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to ask what was deeply troubling them, because that would fucking suck. That would I don't know. I'm not the same way. My parents watch my content, but one of my grandmothers is alive, and I take care of her, and that's one of the reasons I live in Vancouver. And she does not have access to the internet, and I need to keep that a thing.
You need to
forever.
preserve that state of affairs.
Yes, it's a very tenuous relationship, and I'd like to make sure that she doesn't ever have access to the internet. I can't see all this because there's way too much discussion of, again, aforementioned horsecock and homosexuality and trans rights, things that I'm sure would not resonate with that generation.
My extended family also does not know much about what I do, probably for the best. Though my grandmother recently actually sent me a message saying that they really enjoyed my election coverage, so I guess I'm not far left enough to put her off, which is nice.
Wait, what? How was she watching it?
Oh, she's cool. She's hip and with it, you know. She has like laptop and catches up with online stuff from time to time. I mean, some old people are. When I was young, I'd go over to Florida to see my grandparents. My grandfather built computers. The original, you know, the original Macs, the original Apple computers, the ones that had kind of like a domed back, and sometimes they were transparent.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa had a lot of money because he got hefty pension after his military service, because he was really high up. He was a commander in the Navy, and he would take those things apart and rebuild them better. Even back then, there was some degree of customizability with that hardware, I think. I was really young. I didn't fully understand what he was doing.
Wait, when you say transparent back, are you talking about iMacs? Are you talking about the ones that were like literal bubbles?
Yeah, the iMac bubbles, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, those aren't the original Macs, though. They go all the way
okay,
back.
I'm sorry.
Weird,
when I think original, I think like when I was young, what did I imagine? Yeah, okay. Not the original. My bad. The iMacs. So I'm signaling my age here, but he would take those apart and he would I think improve them. I don't know how exactly you did that back then. I doubt it was as simple as just slotting more chips into a motherboard, but he would do something to it, and he was satisfied with the outcome. He had like 4 or 5 computers in one of his workshops. There are some old people that are really computer oriented, you know.
And wait, he was doing that as part of the military, or in the military?
No, that was post-military. He was a commander in the Navy. Afterwards, he retired. You know, just had a bunch of money, and he was like, "Fuck it, I like computers. This is a cool new thing," you know.
And that was at least okay. That's good. It was in the generation where he was just building little machines. When you originally said my grandfather worked on computers, I was like, oh, what, the ones the size of like rooms? Like,
no, shortly after, more like 1999, 2000, 2001. Those iMacs, playing around with them, and of course, the only thing these iMacs could do, as far as I understood, was play solitaire. So there wasn't exactly a lot of high-end software at end here. I think he just liked playing with the. Playing with the actual physical machinery.
Did he was in the American Army? I take it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have like. Oh, I was like, you don't have German descent or anything.
No,
like
he was in the. He was in the. I do, but not from here. No, he was a commander during the Korean War, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he started really young.
Well, I was going to ask, did you ever have trouble wrapping your head around that when you actually learn about the war crimes of your grandparents? Because I'm asking it as someone who has the same.
No, not really. No. I mean, it figures it happens, but I feel like if I learned about it from start, you know, what happened to the military, it doesn't really change my opinion of the people who were involved in it. I mean, if you're an American citizen back in the 1950s, what was my grandpa doing during the Civil Rights Movement? I have no fucking idea. But he's him and I'm me, and I'm sure that my grandchildren are going to cringe at the fact that I ate meat. You know, so. We'll move forward as we can, and in the meantime, he made some really cool computers.
Hey, and by that point, actually, meat will be based because it'll all come in like little tubes that are growing on the side of the room or something.
Well, then it's fine. If it's lab-grown meat, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything unethical about harvesting meat from an entity that doesn't have any intelligence,
sentience.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's literally like cutting off stalks of a plant, you know.
Sorry, this is the weirdest non sequitur. You just made me remind, like, okay, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but this got brought up in my discussion the other day when you were talking about vegans. We were in a debate as to whether or not eating pussy or sucking dick is vegan, and then obviously it came down to, I was like, well, as long as it's not exploitative, right? If it's consensual, then of course it's 100% vegan. Like the other participant is willingly giving you the essence. In both situations, but people were fighting back on the other end. They're like, well, technically no, because it's all exploiting. It's whether or not you choose to enjoy it. Yeah, I know. I was like, this is new levels to me. Like, it's weird enough to me when I hear about like avocados aren't vegan because apparently you need bees to pollinate the avocados. So in which case you're actually exploiting the bees. So at that point, the avocado is no longer vegan. But I was like, but everything in essence is exploiting something. I mean, we have to draw a line at some point.
One of the problems I think we have with like progressive ideas is that a lot of people support them only because of the aesthetic surrounding the support of that idea, and not because they understand the reason why it's good to support that idea, you know? Like, say for example, veganism. Why is it wrong to eat meat or drink milk or whatever? Well, it's not actually wrong to eat meat or drink milk. That's morally neutral. What's wrong is what you have to do to obtain those things, which you support, you know, commercially. So how is it wrong then to get milk? Well, of course, milk farms suck. You have to constantly force impregnate these cows. But is it wrong to drink milk if you just have a cow and the cow gets pregnant with cow stuff? You know, they're doing their cow thing, and then you milk that cow. Well, the cow needs milking. In that case, it's unethical not to milk it because those animals are literally bred to need the milking. So is drinking that milk unethical? No. I'd argue, in a sense then, that milk can almost be argued to be vegan. It depends. Do you think that veganism is about preventing animal suffering, or do you think it's literally explicitly zero animal products? I would argue that not
it's
the animal
exploitation,
products.
isn't it?
Right. Well, I'd say it's the exploitation that's the issue. Likewise with meat or honey. Bees like the honey boxes. That they're like easy homes to live in. It's not, if you put them out there in the elements, they have to deal with shit like cold and weather and stuff like that. The bee boxes aren't inherently exploitative like at all. So anyway, I just think a lot of people need to sort of refocus. Yeah, bears. Some people need to refocus what their concerns are there. And there are incremental improvements that can be made. I think that to a large extent, better regulation of the meat industry is going to be a really huge part of moving this country forward, like socially. Because I don't know, dude. Those places are pretty fucked up. I can't really blame vegans for getting up in arms about that stuff. Even
I don't know if you've done it. I never debate with vegans. I'm just like, no, you're right. I acquiesce. Like, yeah, the factory farming is absolutely abhorrent. It's fucked. Every time I learn more about it, I'm like, this has got to be one of the most fucked up, like, you know, animal holocausts we like, you know, engage in on a regular basis. But then would you say it's wrong to drink milk of a fellow human if they were generously giving it to you?
Well, I don't think. I mean, I think that's weird. Personally, that's not my thing at all. I'm not Homelander.
In moral philosophy, you're not allowed to use that, all right? You're not allowed to talk about what's weird. It's whether or not it is intrinsic moral worth. That's what we're caring.
Well, I think it's morally neutral. I mean, you could even argue it's morally positive if you're both getting off to it or something, right?
Or nutrients, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very nutrient rich. You're not supposed to have humans aren't supposed to have dairy after like 2 or 3 years old. That's the reason why East Asian people tend to be lactose intolerant. Their cultures didn't grow up with fucking cows and goats and shit available all the time, so they could have all the cheese and the butter and the milk. So they didn't grow up with that. So they don't have the what do they call, the enzymes in their stomach acid to process that food. You know?
I don't know if you know this, but someone sent me a link one day where you ranked all your conversations by tiers, and I noticed at the time that you put me in A plus, I believe, not an S. I was second to last, and your criticism was that Lance always comes here with something specific he wants to talk about, and I'm very happy to know that if I don't have anything planned, we end up talking about drinking human milk.
Yeah, well, it's more that you're a driven conversationalist. Yeah, you would have been S tier if we debated. The higher tiers have to be debates for pretty obvious reasons. But there's nothing wrong with that. I actually was probably going to head soon because I haven't checked those at all today, and they're waiting for me and mocking me from chat. I can see that. But anyway, yeah, I really do appreciate you coming on. I'm glad you finally have a camera that I can throw in front of everybody else as well, or a second camera. Sorry.
Yeah, no. It was honestly, Vaush, it's always a ton of fun, man. I like when you're in that point of a conversation when all the politics are gone or all the things you have to talk about are gone, and then you actually just start ribbing. I believe that's the word.
That is the technical term. Yes.
Yeah. That's got to be the most pleasurable. Pleasurable.
Well, you got in on the tail end too, because I feel like just about socialed myself out between this and the past week. I've been doing a lot of these politics streams, you know, and it's all very engaging. It's all also very tiring. the circus of the election is fun. I really, really look forward to things calming down for a smidge. In large part because I was playing Amnesia and I'm not going to get to play it again on stream until we settle the fuck down for a little bit.
Yeah.
You ever played any Amnesia games?
I love scary games. They're like, I think Silent Hill 2 might be my second favorite video game of all time. And so I played is Amnesia the first one or is it the second one? I can't remember. But that same factory.
Penumbra were similar games beforehand. Then there was Amnesia: The Dark Descent, then Amnesia: Machine for Pigs, and now Amnesia I forget.
And where does, is it Sola or Sol? I forget the name of it. Soma.
Soma. Yes. That came after the first two Amnesia games.
Yeah, no, Soma I've enjoyed quite a bit too. Amnesia's good. Layers of Fear, it wasn't really that great story-wise, but it's just like a fun carnival ride in terms of the new horror games that came out. And then there was something else that's absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to remember. What's the one where you have a video camera where you're walking around with like
Outlast.
Cell phone or Outlast. That was good for just good jump scares. Good jump scares.
I can't do the jump scare things. I like the slow tension build stuff. The jump scares are too much for me, so I didn't enjoy Outlast that much.
No, fair enough.
There have been basically no jump scares thus far in Amnesia Rebirth, which has been nice.
And they'll get you eventually.
Yes. Thank you very much for coming on, Lance. Would you like to shill yourself?
Wow. All right. Oh, did you say?
Oh no! If you're no, wait.
Did you say Schiller's show?
No, I meant no shill. Like
shill.
Shout yourself out.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Happy to clarify. All right.
Like, odd. Is this how you end with all your guests? All right, here we go. Hi everyone. I'm Lance from the Surfs TV. You can check me out at I stream 5 days a week. Twitch.tv/thesurfstv. I upload the streams to youtube.com/the Surf Times and our BreadTube channel where we do long form documentaries, of which Vaush is in one of them. We did a fake trailer for Elon Musk's movie with Nicolas Cage where Vaush does the trailer voice. If he hasn't already shown it to you, chat, shame on him. That is his shame. And ask him.
I did.
Ask him to show it to you. He did a really good trailer voice. But anyways, that's youtube.com/the Surfs TV. And everywhere digital media is sold. The Surfs TV, you'll find us. Thank you so much for having me on, Vaush. It's an absolute pleasure.
Enjoy your time, and hopefully, in a last desperate bid for power, Trump does not try to annex Canada.
Yeah, because we will lose.
Be well.
But hey, I for one welcome our new insect overlords. So yeah, cheers everybody. Bye.
Is that an anti-Semitic reference?
God damn it, no.
Good, got him. Cancelers, get to work. I want that man's career over. I want that career done. I want it out of here. Guys, I've got good and bad news for you. Today's Saturday, right? Today's Saturday. The good news is that tomorrow we are doing an Among Us stream with, among others, Shoe on Head, Chris Raygun. I mean, you know what? I'll wait for the full list. I'll wait for the full list before saying anything, but Shoe's organizing it. We're going to do Among Us. It's going to be a big old goddamn thing. I've never played the game before. I think I understand how it's played because I watched it during the AOC Hasanabi thing. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. You have Vaush Sus, so on and so forth. A couple of reminders. Remember that, no, AOC is not coming in. Reminders that when I'm playing that, I cannot have chat on screen. Because I don't want you guys who will be able to watch the other people's streams know who the other who the imposters are, and then to spoil it for everybody else. I won't be able to look at chat while playing, and you guys won't be able to look at chat on screen. You'll only be able to see chat in chat. That's how it has to work that way. It has to work that way. You can't have chat on screen. I want you guys to know. The bad news is that I was going to talk about the losers of this election tonight. But I will not be, actually, because I promised that I'd be done by 8. And while I'm not going to be able to be done quite by 8, I didn't expect the Lance conversation to go that long. I will be done around 8. So we're going to work for that. Please show this clip. Oh, no. I will acknowledge your useless messages before and after the Among Us rounds, comrade. Okay, hold on. What is this?
We're looking, I know president. We're doing is, we're looking, I know about. Yes, real news or fake news? Close off. So here's the statement. Hey! President.
Hey! That is pog as shit. That's your local news, Shoe? Holy shit, that is so... What a Chad fucking move. I think he said bug off. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It don't matter. It don't matter, people. It don't matter. Man, that is really fucking good. Yo. No, go for it. And thank you. Yeah, no, it sounded like fuck off, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was buzz off. Okay, let me read out donations. We have seen a ridiculously, absurdly generous... I have a thing on my lip? Do I? Why is it always... I have nothing on me. Why would you say that to me? Why would you say that to me? Oh, hold on. I just remembered. While I'm doing this right now, I have to pay Shoonhead or I'm never going to remember. Shoonhead probably has like a PayPal linked somewhere, right? Like in the descriptions of her videos. The Autistic Kids GoFundMe. What is that? Patreon, donate, OnlyFans. Ah. This is the OnlyFans link. You put so much more effort into your shit than me. Wait, what? I just got a text from my dad. Hold on. The Mary Sue. You know the Mary Sue website? Apparently they quoted me. Oh, is this the... From my tweet? Yeah, they did. They quoted me. That tweet of mine went viral. Well, that's cool. Vaush dad. Vaush dad. Have your dad on? Have your dad on? I don't want my dad to like embarrass me. Like that. Well, what if he says some devastating shit about me? Hold on. Wait, hold on. This is a bad idea. You're not going to get what you want. All you can shut the fuck up right now, okay? There's no guarantee my dad's even here, by the way. That text was from an hour ago. Here, I'll keep an eye on the phone. Okay, wait, hold on. Where the fuck is Shoonhead's PayPal.me? Politics channel, Patreon/donate to join the Discord server. Where's the Discord? Shu, do you seriously not have a direct PayPal link? Shu, I'm gonna kill myself. Shu? I think she actually doesn't have... I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, while my dad laboriously works to respond. Oh wow, this is a lot of gifted donations. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. N.S. Gomez, thank you so much for the incredibly kind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 on this page alone, possibly more. Tier 1 subs. Jesus Christ. You are truly single-handedly curing chat of the white name plague, which comes to us. By the way, every time there's a white name plague, it means we have a lot of new people in chat, and that's awesome, you know? There's nothing wrong with that at all, except their white name, which means they're trash. Hold on, we have affirmation. This is a stupid idea. I don't know why I suggested this. Dad! How you doing? Can I put you on speak? You can say hi to chat. They long for a father figure. I can tell from the way they treat me. Yeah, I'll put you on speaker. Don't embarrass me. All right, hit it up.
Hello?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Chat says they're doing great, or at least they're about to. There's a 3-second delay.
Yes, I understand.
They're probably also going to comment on how similarly we speak.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I think we all had a good day today.
Yeah. Have y'all done anything to celebrate the results of the election?
We just went out and had a couple of beers, which is, you know, not a bad way to do it.
No, not at all. I got plastered last night off 2 bottles of wine covering the Georgia flip from red to blue.
Shame on you. I thought I raised you better.
No, it's literally the first time I've drunk in like 4 years. Thank you.
I know.
I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, I got to work on reading donos. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, no worries. Take care.
Take care.
Stay safe.
Of course. Be well. There we go. Now it is known. Yeah, we sound pretty similar. My dad's a really good public speaker. I mean, I had to get some help from somewhere, you know? Tronald Dump. Thank you so much for the incredibly kind 4 gifted tier 1 subs. I really appreciate that, comrade. Jesus Christ. Felix Argyle, thank you for the tier 2 sub. Kale Rock 750 with the 5 Canadian. Mika Alien and Kane 699, thank you both for the tier 1 subs. Your whole family has nice and weirdly unique voices, IMO. Well, it runs through, doesn't it? Holy shit, you people gifted. Wait, was there like a in-joke or like a ploy on your guys' part? You gifted so many tier 1 subs. Jesus Christ. NS Gomez with the additional 6, 7, 8 tier 1 subs. On this page, I only get it a page at a time. Thank you so fucking much, my dude. Jesus, I felt like there were a lot of orange names in chat relative to the number of people here. Yeah, you all having a... Wait a second. Wait, does this mean that White Nervosa has done the gift sub package thing, or was this just coincidental? Okay, I don't think it's done yet. I think you guys literally just individually donated a bunch of gifted tier 1 subs. Okay, man, you people are fucking crazy. Jesus. Tronald Dump, thank you so much for the 5. 8 on this page alone. 8 gifted tier 1 subs to so many people. So many people being cloaked, being cloaked and warmed in the warm blanket of orange names. And likewise, definitely not die. Another lunatic joins the fray with the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, comrade. Jesus. Zenti and Lacey Purple Bear, thank you both very much for the gifted tier 1 subs likewise. Wolfgar with the $10 and Dizix with the tier 2 sub. Thank you both very, 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 very much. I think we've near exhausted the extraordinary generosity of these gifted tier 1 subs. Oh, Shill? Well, we're on the downstroke. But yeah, if you're watching the stream and you've enjoyed it, though we're drawing to a close now, you should consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. We are at 278,000 right now. I'm hoping for 300,000 by the end of the month. That would be just delightful. And then maybe we can, you know, get even further, go even further beyond in 2021. We're going to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out. Yes. Tronald Dump giving yourself a tier 1 sub. Good. Got to cloak yourself as well. And then 3 more gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much, comrade. Likewise to Mythaldu, Tripstep, Angry Demetrodon, and 13 the Real B-Star 12. Thank you so goddamn much. Whores Me with the incredibly kind $46. Thank you. Vaush, you have a call from the base department. Do I?
As I speak to you now, it appears that Joe Biden is on his way to win the electoral votes.
I planned on watching this literally next stream, so this is going there, comrade. This is going there. Thank you very, very much, Horsme. Do not take this as a rejection. That is literally something we'll be covering next stream. So that'll be there. God bless you, Bernie. God bless you. Okay, we have to run through a little bit faster. My apologies. Axel and B, thank you for the dear one sub. Very happy to have had the opportunity to expose you to those ideas, comrade. Aiden Riddle, Kanan Nichols, Guadalupe's again. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that. I feel so bad for the inevitable Secret Service personnel that'll be forced to serve Trump and his family after the presidency. Pepe hands. Yeah, imagine being on that detail. Jesus Christ, that fucking sucks. Very, very true. Oof. Strayed Up, thank you so much for the incredibly kind $20. Please, Vaush, you may check out this Biden 1 election freestyle rap. Thank you. You mean like on YouTube? Email it to me. But I can't promise I'll play like songs or performances on stream. If I do that for everyone who links them, that it sets a bad precedent, and I have to do all of them, and sometimes I don't want to, and then I'm just there bored, or But anyway, email it to me. GGHJ, Black Frost and Kitty Cax, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really, really appreciate that. Absolutely, comrade. Saw a bunch of Trump yard signs in the trash. Very cathartic. Blame it on the bubble with the $5. Meanwhile, in the clown house. Yes, the Jimmy Dore show. Trump loses. Now what? And it's now going to be something about how the Democrats are even worse. Viathan with a very kind $20. Thank you for your Philly area mail-in vote. Really appreciate that, comrade. Grady is now the definitive anti-Trump symbol. True. King of the Juice, thanks to tier 2 sub. Tabby Egg with the incredibly kind $50 donation. Jesus Christ. Thank you for the effort in getting us through the week. Look forward to continuing the fight. Keep up the good work, comrade. Much love. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, comrade. That's what I'm talking about. It's been a rough little while, but I think we have earned ourselves at least a short period of catharsis, and I look forward to presiding over it for as many people as possible. Gengi K and The Whatever, thank you both very much for the $10 and pounds respectively. Thank you, The Whatever. I really appreciate that, comrade. Genre 8 and Selenium, thank you both very much for the tier 1 sub. Checked out Stop the Steal rally in my city today. The guy with the mic shouted out Infowars, OAN, ban.video, etc. Seeing crowds yelling about this feels really weird. Yep. We'll see how long those platforms remain viable. Sake Tanuki with the incredibly kind $20. Will you be streaming your fixing your cam setup with Duke Stamina session? I'd love to learn. Maybe, comrade. We'll fucking see. Probably not, though. We'll get some unflattering angles. Cecile Montanaz, Shikino Yume, Ruver Guru, and Gritbusters. Thank you all so much for the $5. American and Canadian. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, Cecile, undeniably. Trump's given more tax dollars to Israel than any of his predecessors. His senior advisors are Kushner and Miller, and his biggest donor is Adelson. It's been a wacky time, comrade. It's been a wacky, wacky time. There is no denying that. So we'll see how that pans out. Miyako Cat with the $15. Thank you very much. You know how 538 kept saying the probability of Trump getting elected was the same as it raining in downtown Los Angeles? It rained here this morning. Well, thank you for keep up the great content. Looks like Nate Silver was wrong again, boys. Foot Fungus and Nolan Burke, thank you both very much for the $6.90. Really appreciate that, comrade. I'll take a look at Adam Calhoun. Always fun to make fun of more people, you know? Sky Comet, Gritbusters, Jedson Fox 07. Thank you all very much for the $2. Really appreciate that, comrade. My goodness. James and Bros, thank you for the $5. Dong Chonker, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Stoops with the incredibly kind $10. Really appreciate that. I think that Nazis have like cognitive dissonance when it comes to Trump's support of Israel. SGR656, the $20. With Dems taking the House, the president with the speaker can put the Senate on recess and make recess appointments fully legal under SCOTUS rulings. Well, yeah. You don't need Senate approval. So hopefully that's what Joe does. I would be very upset if he doesn't. We're still running a little bit low on my schedule here. I'm going to run through these donos just a little bit faster, just a little bit speedier. We'll see. And Foria, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $15. Really appreciate that. Jiggly Puffite with the $13.50. Very nice, baby. Baby.
Chat, what are you doing? Why are you licking the bread bag?
Where is that noise coming from? I don't know where that... I think that noise was coming from another open YouTube link. I have no idea. Okay. Sorry, the clown circus is here to stay, it seems. Oof, scary. Very scary. Jesus. Gross Zero, Izzy Stardust, Steven Crowder's mom. Nice to have you here. Jetsu Yahoo and Gritbusters. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Really appreciate that. Likewise, Brenda Carolyn, thank you for the $10. I have seen Trump's recent tweets. I love you more too, Brenda. So you and your boyfriend will have to split up for your recent, as per your media preference differences, such as it is. Sather with the incredibly kind $50. Thank you very, very much. Joe Biden for president, superior to Hibernian conspiracy confirmed. True. Very, very true. Of course, yeah, Joe Biden himself being Irish, the two are one and the same. Our plan is coming into action. We'll see, comrades. Liam Knight Devlin, Pimpermon, Kirk C, Scary Larry, thank you all so much for the $5. Connor Brennan, Trebek Alex, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $10. Yes, Trebek, you should not at all feel insecure about your vote for Biden. Voting for Biden is based as shit. Jacob Simpkin, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. No need to be ashamed. Comrade. Seas of Cheese, thank you very much for the $10. Glad you enjoy the Facebook content, but you should be thanking Tempest, my friend. Earthling with the 15. Australian, thank you. Insomnio Static with the incredibly kind $10. Really appreciate that, comrade. The fuck is this? Me watching some amazing leftists spread real truth? I remember I saw this game in a Donkey video. The champion of loneliness, for which I apparently win. Thank you. Beating out the Discord leftist. I like this drawing of me, by the way. I hope that when you guys close your eyes and you think of me, you imagine me with like glowing laser eyes, you know, like the Vaush. I hope that's how you think of me. Just generally, you know. I do? Okay, good. Very good. Very happy to hear that, comrade. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Very good. Okay, stop donating, please. Rory AIDS and Medimo, thank you both very much for the $10. Really appreciate that. How can you call Bernie a socialist when in most European countries it'd barely be more than center-left? There are some elements of Bernie that are more left than a lot of people in Europe, but even then, I don't call Bernie a socialist because of his policies. I call him a socialist because he's hiding his power level, my friends. Bookworm AF, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $10. Really appreciate that. What? The result is a picture of Joe Biden with Jerry Adams and the IRA officer who tried to kill an army officer. Oh, shit, dude. Joe Biden is unironically fucking IRA Joe coming out hot with the fucking car bombs. Jesus Christ. Happy New Year. Thank you for the £5. Morbid Moro, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Sir Happy Official with the incredibly kind $10. I think that Dems have won the House. Republicans will probably win the Senate. What would be the best place to move to and try and become a mayor? I have no fucking idea, comrade. This is a very strange question. Dez, Black and Quirkless, Butters, Amphoria, and Dark Samus, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Dark Samus, thank you. I appreciate the work introducing your friends. I'm always really flattered when I read that. Boxtube, Qualfaf, Your Mom, and Asteroid Rocket, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that as well. Acorns with the tier 1 sub, much appreciated. Do Blitz with the very kind $10. Yes, I do quite like Jill Biden. She seems pretty darn cool. Tim with the incredibly kind $20. Today's my birthday, and American gave me a pretty dope present. Also, my based mom is watching. Say thank you. Hello, Mom. Thank you. Happy to have you here. Mike Thiemann Jr. with the incredibly kind $10. Really, really appreciate that. Yes, happy birthday, comrade. Happy birthday. Maybe. Miss Molly DeWap is Poggers. Thank you both very much for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that, comrade. Thomas O'Gara, Sulua, Astro Blue Drew, thank you for the $5 and $2 respectively. Really appreciate those, comrade. Quag Faf with the incredibly kind $25. Thank you so fucking much, my dude. Yeah, I am very happy to sell Biden to leftists and make us all feel good about the horrible choices we have to make. You should feel good. Sake Tanuki with a very kind $20. The Big Dick Hunter commentary rings about as hollow as the HRC mask of fakeness Kamala uses. It's malarkey. He's a normal-sized dad bod at best. Nah. Hunter Biden's pretty hot, and he looked like he had a pretty big cock. Sorry, Sake. Lucretius, thank you for the 2 Canadian. Arcelia, thank you for the $5. Sake Tanuki with the additional very kind $10. Yeah, we'll see. We'll bully him. Don't you worry. X Corvus 777, thank you so much for the tier 4 sub and for the great porn. Dude, it's hard to watch him speak. All that matters is that Trump lost. Not brunch time quite yet. Thank you for your coverage, my dude. Comrade Xander Corvus. Happy to have you here, Xander Corvus. Thank you so much. Now I get to see you in chat with the yellow name. It always pops a little bit more, you know? Thank you so fucking much, comrade. I really, really appreciate that. Jesus Christ. It's very kind of you. God. Bach Soup, Drew Russ, and Mariachi13. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Yes, screaming at voters is a liberal response to the problem at hand. Jay Showa O with the insanely generous $200 donation. Hey, X-Corvus, I saw you. $200. We want to elect people with our values that can win, not the 0.2% Howie Hawkins Green Party, unless they can actually get a functioning party going. True. Remember, folks, remember this well, okay? There are no consolation prizes in politics, okay? Doesn't mean shit how ideologically pure you are if you can't affect change along those lines. Thank you so much for the 200. That is obscenely kind of you. I really, really appreciate it, comrade. Thank you. Eric, thanks to $20. I have checked out the Donald.win. In fact, I've shown it on stream a couple of times. It never fails to make me laugh. Corlix and Stay Stoked, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $10. Yeah, Stay Stoked, we are going to see a wave of right-wing violence. There is no denying that, comrade. No denying that. That is true, Corlix. Liberals are basically like femboys, ideologically. You just need to fuck them by introducing them to class consciousness. Bit of a strained metaphor. Strained like their butthole. Thank you. Frylock, Phil Go Colts, 6 the 6, XPZ, 4 Kulik, and Jordan Hearson. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really, really appreciate that. I'm happy to hear that, 4 Kulik. No longer a capitalist. Fuck yeah. Looks like I won the debate without even having to have it. Truly, thus is my skill, you know? X Corvus with the incredibly kind $20. My 2 favorite Deuterinos. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I know you're also into Lance as well. Thank you so much, my dude. You are incredibly generous. Jesus. Horace and Doombot, thank you both very much for the $5. I'll remember next time, Doombot. Harrison Barnett, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $10. I used to be an alt-writer and super racist, but your video debunking 1350 helped me transition away from that ideology towards leftism. Holy shit. First time I'm catching a stream. Thanks, man. Fuck yeah, my dude. Anytime. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. I was happy with its production, you know. I'm really glad that it had that effect on you, comrade. Happy to have you here with us. Baz and Stefan Nuts, thank you both very much for the $3 and $5 respectively. Happy to hear that, comrade. Geeky Programmer with a very kind $20. Thank you so much. Happy to give you hope anytime, comrade. Randar the Barbarian, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate the offer, comrade, but there are a couple of people who have lined up already to offer to talk to me about gun policy, and I may or may not. I genuinely don't know. I do kind of like doing segments on my own, so we'll have to see. Tamberlane, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $10, comrade. Thank you. Yeah, voting for Biden, it doesn't feel based and red-pilled, but we have to recognize that it was the right damn thing to do. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, by the way, I went out shopping and I got Supreme socks. Like the Supreme socks, the brand Supreme. I got them and it says Supreme on them. They're very comfy. They looked comfy and they are comfy, okay? Thanks for the donations. Why am I here and Dead Hero? Thank you both very much. That's your ones. The real reason is I was shopping around for some nice running shoes, and the place only had Supreme socks as like a novelty thing, and I didn't bring socks with me. So I was like, yeah, I need socks to put on shoes, right? So I bought the Supreme socks. And they're actually the most comfy socks I've ever worn in my life, so I don't know, man. Noah Procco, Star Jump, and Trey Moore, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. True, logic and fascism are oxymorons. Rivera Life, thank you so much for the incredibly kind $20. Joe should make his teacher wife the Secretary of Education. Maybe. Preferable to what we got now. Jay Showa O with the incredibly kind $20. I disagree that Trump supporters are rich whites. There's a large conservative working class supporting Trump, and I've interacted with them. Businesses obsessively run Fox News in their cafeterias and no other news source. Oh, there are plenty of like poor or like worker conservatives. That's definitely true. But a lot of, I mean, it's just polling wise, statistically, the strongest base is like white suburbs. I'm not saying that all Trump supporters are like wealthy suburbanites, just that that's a large base of them, you know? I just don't like it when people pretend the working class is inherently conservative, because I certainly don't believe that. Jerry Cohen with the $20. My girlfriend and I got engaged today, and you're the reason we made it through the last 5 days to get here. Jesus. No, you both are, dumbasses. And congratulations. I really appreciate the kind words. Excuse me. Jay Show, oh, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $20. Yeah, true. You can excel. Oh, yeah, you can excel as much as you want in work and in school, but that really just does not reliably pay out with regards to life success. It just is not a reliable payout, you know? We do not live in a meritocracy. A lot of people don't know that. They need to accept that. Sahel Anthropus and Just John Smith, thank you for the tier 1 sub and the tier 2 sub respectively. Mike Thiemann Jr. and LNRD and Daedalus Valorian, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Please, for the love of God, make out with Lance. P.S. Sake Tanuki is my bear cub. So noted, comrade. But no, I like Lance as a friend. Stoops, Salty Oven Quag was taken, and Akasin, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. We're not doing any Elfenlied breakdowns here unless it's physically breaking down a DVD copy of Elfenlied with my bare hands. Really appreciate that. And Akasin, I will be adding to my research document fairly soon talking points about the minimum wage. I'm going to do another wave soon. Sake, I have no doubt Chelsea Manning would have some spicy takes on Assange and Russiagate. And Cruz Nix with the incredibly kind $15. Yeah, Dan Crenshaw could also be a pretty decent long-run candidate for a Republican president. He has the presence, and he has an eye patch, which makes him look cool, which matters a lot to them, you know? Totally possible. Jesus, Asiano, thank you for the 3 incredibly kind gifted tier 1 subs, you fucking people. 5 incredibly kind gifted tier 1 subs. Sorry, just popping them through. Sorry, my bad. My apologies. Jesus. 6! Okay, that's the end of them. 6. Thank you, comrade. Jesus Christ. You, Liveman, thank you likewise for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs, and Akasen and Sociable G for the same reason. Really appreciate that, comrade. My goodness. Andy Nori, we will not be telling the Pooh story. Thank you very, very much. GGHJ with the $1.99. They say, you skip Super Chats a lot. You'll skip this one. Super Chats get dropped. Oh, there goes your yellow name, Corvus. Sorry, now it's blue. Haha, because you're notable. You are notable, friend. Thank you. And go enjoy D&D. GGH, unfortunately, because of the way the website API works, YouTube Super Chats do get dropped in the API and not shown that often on my page. It is unfortunate, and I do apologize about it. It's just, yeah, it's just the way the website works. Tits Kits, Life Must Exist, Boy Meets Minnie. Thank you, along with Arupaka. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind tier 1 sub. I'm seeing people act like they're superior for not voting for rapist/pedo Biden and acting like Biden's just as bad. This stuff really bothers me. Donald Trump literally was like close friends with Epstein and bragged about walking in on little girls changing. He has credible rape accusations from underage girls. Their pedo-rapist thing for Joe is that he's like creepily handsy, and the one accusation from Tara Reid, which is not very well substantiated. In my mind, personally, if I was a victim of abuse from Trump, one of the dozens of people he's probably raped, I would feel terrible, like actually really disgusted by all the people who are so politically fucking above it all that they're unironically trying to equivocate what happened to them with like Joe Biden being like creepy or handsy. It's actually really disgusting, you know? It's like massively downplaying or trivializing it for political points. Matthew M. with the insanely generous $100 donation, my dude. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Thanks for the hopium, comrade. You really got us through this. Living in a very red county in GA, witnessing the flip and the victory filled me with a brand new hope for left politics. Yeah, it was a narrow fucking victory, but we did just barely manage to pull it out, didn't we? Jesus. Thank you so much for the $100, comrade. I really, really appreciate that. Jesus Christ. Asiano with the 2 additional gifted tier 1 subs. Likewise to Sociable G. My God, you people. You're fucking bopping. Drew Bala with the tier 1 sub. Vaush, this is unironically fire. This is a music video, so unfortunately it is definitely copyright. I'm afraid I can't take a look at it, comrade. Pavel Vasilev with the 100 rubles. Thank you very, very much, comrade. Evan, Travis, Iridian Knight, and SJ, thank you all so much for the incredibly count $5. Iridian Knight, Stuck in the Sounds Let's Go music video is one of my favorite music videos. Like, and it has been for a very long time. I wish I could show it on stream, but I definitely can't. I'm a very big fan. Amphoria, Sasha, Psychedelia, and Burn It All Down. Thank you for the 5 Canadian and $5 dues, respectively. The clown music was for my donation, which was this video. Oh! Amphoria, I don't think I can listen to this. I'm pretty sure this is copyright. What is this? Oh. Well, this is what happened to your video in between now and 20 minutes ago, Amphoria. I'm going to guess that one of the coping conservatives had something in their message which... Yeah, so I'm glad that I didn't watch it then, and thus made myself also vulnerable to that. Spanish Lefty Papi, thank you for the $5. Yeah, me too. Set Abomine, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really happy to hear that you appreciated that video, comrade. Bruologist and Mr. Knit, thank you for the tier 1 and tier 2 subs, respectively. Ginger Cringer with the incredibly kind $20. Here's some money for more wine. Glad to see you get Moscato pilled. FYI, Moscato was the 3rd most popular wine in the US, so you should have no problem finding it. Oh, I don't doubt it, comrade, but it was that specific brand. It was so sweet. Maybe it's all Moscatos. I'll have to try. Shiorta with the incredibly kind $40. I really appreciate that. Hey, Vaush, I'd like to know how to do praxis at the workplace. Aside from starting a union or striking strikes, what can I do to help my coworkers? I'm unfortunately not that educated on that subject. First of all, thank you so much for the 40. I think the best thing you could do to find out more about that would be to contact the IWW or other workers' organizations to ask their advocates for advice. They love giving out advice on stuff like that. They love it. Nothing makes people like that happier than having the opportunity to share advice with somebody who's interested in, you know, improving the workplace. So I would suggest you reach out in that respect. Sorry I can't be more immediately helpful, comrade. My bad. Primary Simcha Felder, thank you very much for the $2. Yeah, that is true. Eon Carolyn R. Thivierge and Gadrid Tenioso, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that. What about Maduro? I don't think Maduro is a good leader. I just think that the alternative is worse. Like an American-backed coup might lead to worse outcomes. So, yeah, but I'm not. What are we talking about? Chuds want an election redo? I don't doubt it, but they're not going to get it. If people are so confident that Biden has won fair and square, here's an idea. Let's all vote again in states where the difference is 100,000 votes or less. Except this time, everyone has to vote in person. And we don't want to hear about none. We don't want to hear about none of this COVID that ended 3 days ago. God, these people are so fucking salty, dude. Okay, what if everybody came in and... Yeah. Absolute lunatics. Literal COVID deniers. Smile at the camera, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. I'll be making a video for recommendations on how to do that sort of content soon. Sake Tanuki, and 504 Boognish with the incredibly kind $10 both. Thank you. A Coke stream with Eric Trump win. One of these days, comrade. One of these days. Sad Vegan Junkie, thanks to the tier 1 sub. I love my streams as well. Arki Bunka with a very kind $15. Thank you. Yes, I would be delighted to talk with anime content creators on YouTube at some point, if I got a decent in. Jeremy Knox with a very kind $20. Thank you. Yeah, I pride myself on being level-headed in stressful situations, or at least I try my best to be. Thank you. Spencer C with a very kind $3. Thank you very, very much. Max Saint and Mez Love, thank you both so much for the very kind $10. I talked about lib-left coalitions earlier this stream, Mez Love. I'll upload it soon. And Max Sains, thank you. Yes. Biden winning does give us breathing room, if nothing else. Clouded Centaur, thank you very much for the incredibly kind tier 1 sub. I hope it's okay for me to share my podcast I did for school. You can share whatever you want with chat or email me, but no guarantee that I'm going to be able to get to it. I've got a lot on my watch list. Mr. Desmith and Dorafor, thank you both very much for the $5. And thank you, Taylor, for getting Mr. Desmith interested in my channel. Very much appreciated, comrade. Izzy Stardust, thank you very much for the $2. Chernov with the $5. Thank you. We'll do a Total War Warhammer 2 stream one day when my computer is better. I need to buy a new computer. And Methaldu, thank you for the gifted tier 1 sub. Interested in recommendations of palatable stuff? No, that's okay, Methaldu. Right now, honestly, I don't want to drink that much. Just getting wine drunk once every 2 months sounds just fine for me, you know? The Nico Sam, thanks for the $2, and congratulations on contributing to Sargon's Twitter ban. Shame, though. He was fun to make fun of. And Astronet with the tier 3 sub, thank you so much. I made a meme. Here you go. No advocacy for political violence, Sereno. True, though. Wait, hold on. You know, I've never actually played an online multiplayer Call of Duty match. I've actually never done it. The only Call of Duty I've ever actually played is the single player for Call of Duty 4. Hey, Zab Salas, thank you so much for the $5. Yes, very, very true. Autistic solidarity, comrade. All right, listen up, you stupid pieces of shit. Tomorrow, we are playing Among Us. How pog is that going to be? We're going to be playing it with all the cool friends, all the hip kids, all with the pumped out kicks, all the hip and fresh and pumping out the kicks. I think it's going to be pretty cool, personally. I love you all very much. Thank you so much for the generosity. I really appreciate every single dono. I just can't read every single one of them anymore. It's not possible given my size and the number of people watching. Right now, we are ending the stream. We are ending... Oh yeah, we'll talk to Shu first, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. We'll see. If you all get disappointed, that's on Shu, not me. Anyway, we're now at the point where ending stream, we're at like 11,000. You know, that's like the low point for the stream. How fucked is that, you know? It's like, oh, time to end. People are dropping out. Oh yeah, just 11,000 people here, you know, just an amphitheater of people, you know. Be well. I love you all very much. Take care.